It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D-R-E. Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D-R-E. Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D-R-E. Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G. Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D-R-E.
Smoke weed every day.
Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D-R-E.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know the West Coast is back for all you suckers. So put something in there. Put it in there. Yeah. Suck, Snoop.
Top dog, bite them all, yeah, I'm burning it up. DPGC, you should be turning it up. CPT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang this in the club, baby, you got to get up. Cause homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Whole lot, yo lot, boy, we living it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the back door. Chickens looking at me strange, but you know I don't care. Step up, Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D-R-E.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know the West Coast is back for all you suckers. So put something in there.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. You ready for the next episode? It's the one and only D.R.E. Dr. Dre, Love Buster. You know I'm mobbing with the D.O.G. Straight off them killer streets of CPT. King of the beach, you ride to him in your fleet. Wood, the veal rolling on dubs. How you feel? Whoop-de-whoop. What? Dream soup, hitting corners in the lag. With Doc in the back, sipping on yak. Clipping all the amps, dipping through hood. Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood. South Central out to the west side. It's California love, it's California bug. Got your boy a gang of pub. I'm on one, I might bell up in the Century Club. With my jeans on, and my team strong. Get my drink on, and my smoke on. Then go home with something to poke on. Locust song for the 200. Coming real, it's the next episode.
What is up, party people? Alright, let me make sure I get the chat up because I can't see anything. Say what's up to Sam. What's up, Zip? What up, JJ? How you doing? What up, No Name? Thank you for ratting out Blue. What up, Farmers? What up, Blue? Thanks for ratting me out. What up, is that you, Dave? Hey, Amy, how you doing? Welcome. Who else is in here? I guess it's Sam already. What up, GPS? And what's up, Miles? How you doing? And let me see. What's up, 9 o'clock hero? What's up, Davros? What up, John? How you doing, sir? What up, Jim? Long time no see. You do that wrench. I don't know why you don't have one. Let's see what's missing a name. And what up, Phil? Take it easy, my friend. There we go. All right, here we go. All right. I'm not sure if they can hear me in the Discord. I already turned it on, so let me see. Turn all this off. All right, so here we go. Didn't have anything planned. Just wanted to go live. I haven't been live in a minute. Finally had a day off. A lot of things have been going on. A lot of talk about the horizon. You guys all know that's my favorite conversation. If my audio is bad, let me know. Let me know if it's good. Hey, Hannah, how you doing? It's been a while. Let's see. Okay, so I'm sorry I'm late. I was over at Travis's having a conversation with him about his observations. Did we get anywhere? No. Do we have an opportunity to have a conversation? Yes. The reason I jumped on his panel was because when I got there, he was actually using... So he did an overlay of body of water, and he had covered the refraction line to show where the water level would be. So in this chat, I said, Travis, you understand that what you're doing right now is you're using a physical body of water to obstruct. You're showing exactly what we're explaining to you. He says, no, I'm not. I say, well, what you're doing is you're taking the refraction out of your observation and overlaying a body of water. What you are doing is showing the geometric horizon. And he didn't get pissed, but you know, Travis gets, no, that's not what it is. That's not how it is. But unfortunately for him, that's exactly how it was. I can see your names and give you a wrench. Trappy Trapper. Alright, so I'm over in the Discord. What's up, No Name? What's up, Davros? How you guys doing? What's up, Blue?
How you going, my mate?
Doing real good. It's been a while. How you guys been?
What's happening, Sean?
Not much. Just finally got the day off, so I was like, I gotta go live. Gotta do it. And also, all this Horizon talk, I'm kind of upset I haven't been in the middle of it, because that's my favorite subject right now.
Well, you mean the misappropriation of what a horizon actually is?
Yep. 100%. I've shown this video before. I know you guys have seen it. Let me go ahead and clip it up real quick, because to me, it's a wonderful observation. I've showed it before. It's from Mathis KP. If you guys remember that name. I'll go ahead and share here and then share it. But in this observation, there is almost no refraction. You guys click on my little live link, you'll be able to see the video. And I will start it real quick. It's a long video. I'll actually just speed it up, huh? I may not be able to. There we go. But I like this observation because one thing I noticed in it is that there's almost no refraction. Almost. I'm not going to say none. But what you're going to notice is that this boat, or as Shorten's cat would say, this ship, you'll notice is that it's going to start disappearing. I would pose the question of find me a refraction line that would pose any obstruction, if you think that's what it is.
Yeah,
And,
well, normally you'd start seeing the refraction before it went over the curve anyway.
it would be harder to see, I think.
No, but you would see it at the front of the boat.
Oh, as it's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure if you see it now, there's almost, right now, zero refraction is happening. I don't see a damn bit of it. I wouldn't have a spot in the world even located at. Well, I think I could see some in the far distance, but I couldn't contribute it because there's nothing to reference it to. Speed it up a little bit more.
Maybe turn down the wind.
No, just mute Sean's live stream.
Well, he was talking about the camera guy.
Yeah, but you just mute the sound, then you can't hear all the winds drowning you out.
Oh, can you guys see? Oh, I can't hear it. My bad. It's not hooked up to my sound.
I think.
I just muted it.
Probably mute. You've muted. Yeah, you've muted it.
Yeah.
What way?
I don't hear the sound in my headphones. I don't know why. I just don't though.
Oh right. Yeah. Actually, I don't think I hear myself in my headphones either.
There we go. So it's starting to disappear.
Oh no, she's sinking. Those poor people.
And I don't see any refraction to account for anything at the moment.
No. You can still see the spume being kicked up at the back. You can see the spray coming off the bow. You know, that's pretty clear. And yet somehow we're losing the ship from the bottom up. That's magical.
I think that's the floor limit, right?
Yes, it's the floor limit, whatever
that's new.
The floor limit.
Where it meets up with the ether band at that mirror water level, and it's squunchy light.
Fractal barotropic shoaling.
Yeah.
Still my favourite.
It's starting to disappear. Someone's echoing.
Somebody's got the YouTube open.
Where did it go? What happened? Peekaboo!
Take the stream
now.
Did it reach a limit of optical resolution?
Well, this is the main reason I wanted to stop it right here. Because a few times Travis has said to me that it's due to refraction obstructing, not a physical object. Right. But then you would have to show me you would have to show a refraction line large enough to obstruct the boat of that size, and and it would have to be below what we see of the boat right now.
Yeah.
Sorry about the buffering. I'll try to fix it.
I mean, it is utter nonsense. It's gone over the curve. I mean, blimey.
Yeah, there's no way we're talking around it, and that was kind of one of the things that I realized right away, in my decision to back off a little, because it's the one thing they don't want me to say, and I'm gonna say it every fucking time, is explain to me how it obstructs. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense at all. But other than that, what have you guys been up to?
Listening to stupid.
I enjoyed myself immensely in Jose's hangout this afternoon, particularly in the last 10 minutes. I thought that made my weekend. That did.
See, I woke up late because I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. And on a Saturday, I refuse to wake up early.
Yeah.
What was the catalyst of B-Ball and Gleam? What started all that?
B-Ball has now done at least 2 videos that I know of on Gleam's calculations, shall we say, showing the altitude of Polaris and how it varies depending on your position on the Earth. And Gleam keeps saying that Beeble had taken out one of the columns of figures. But on both the video presentations, he shows all 4 columns. He's supposed to have taken out the column showing the apparent altitude of Polaris, which for some bizarre reason starts at 3,958 miles. And Gleam is 110% certain that his calculations prove that Polaris is at an altitude of 3,958 miles above the Earth's surface. And he's also said that the sun's slightly further out at just over 4,000 miles, and that Venus is only about 20 miles across.
That's new. I've never heard Gleam make those kind of claims. That's
if you look at either of the two either of the 2 videos that Beeble for Life has done, he shows he has a capture of Gleam's Excel spreadsheet. And it has these rows, these columns of figures that he uses to calculate the apparent altitude of Polaris. And at 0 degrees latitude, basically, if you stood on the North Pole and looked up, the apparent altitude of Polaris is 3,958 miles. Now, I've never seen how he's calculated that. I keep taking the piss out of him, saying, "Well, come on and show me how Polaris is closer to me than South Africa." South Africa from the UK is just over 4,000 miles away.
I did hear someone say, I did hear someone say, how is the moon further than Polaris?
Yeah, I mean, he's got Polaris, which is, of course, not 1 star but 3, although there's one very bright one. He's got Polaris closer to us than our sun, and they're both closer to us than the moon.
Actually, something I found, I can't remember which spreadsheet it was, but if you actually have a look at his 89-degree number, and then I think it's the 78-degree number, they're almost exactly the same distance. But you've moved 11 degrees.
Right. Because I've just gone back to Beeble for Life's latest video, and it just starts where I paused it before. We have latitude, 90 degrees, pole, north, distance in miles, 0, apparent altitude, 3,958 miles, which gives us a hypotenuse of 3,958 miles. Miles per degree, 69.0468. It then goes down for 1 degree in every latitude. So we go down to 89 degrees.
Hang on, how's that the hypotenuse?
I did hear him say a few times that this was made up math. It kind of frustrated me that he was saying that.
Yeah, but the problem is that there's this huge assumption that he's saying that a latitude of 90 degrees north, standing on the North Pole, the apparent altitude of Polaris starts at 3,958 miles.
What news?
I love it when you get a replay on that.
This was made up math.
Blue.
You're
playing
echoing.
YouTube, mate.
Huh?
You're playing YouTube.
Oh, I am.
Mute YouTube. Thank you. Well, he's not his best. Bless him, is Blue. You're suffering at the moment, Blue, aren't you? Yeah. So this is what started it all off, and Beeble has supposedly used the figures Gleam has given him, and basically said, "Look, this doesn't work." And Gleam's going, "No, you've got it all wrong. You've left out one of these columns." I don't know. And they spent a good 2 hours bickering and arguing. Well, everybody was bickering and arguing with Gleam, as they do in the side chat. We were getting towards the end. I think Jose was going to wrap it up, and he said, "Look, it would be nice if Gleam and Beeble would come in here and basically have it out together, 1-on-1." And Gleam came in all sort of, full of himself as usual. And Beeble said, "No, I'm out on my motorbike." But he was listening, he'd got his headphones in, but he stopped. Wherever he was, he pulled over on the side of the road, and they basically went for it.
That's right when I tuned in. Like, I was on the panel, but I was in and out.
I mean, Gleam was being his usual self in the side chat. He, Bob the Science Guy was wrong, Professor Phil was wrong, B-Ball for Life was wrong, GPS was wrong. Everybody he was talking to, yes, they were all wrong. They're all fucking idiots. Gleam was schooling them all on absolutely everything. I mean, I missed most of it because we were trying to help Jose out, trying to find this poxy bloody water tower. But I kept glancing over at the side chat and thinking, Gleam, you're just talking out of your ass. At one point, I noticed he was questioning Bob the Science Guy about they used to use sextants in World War II bombers. And Gleam was, what are you talking about? What utter rubbish? And even I thought, hang on a minute, a lot of the bombers had these little astrodomes where the navigator could basically stand up in the astrodome with his sextant and shoot the stars to try and confirm their position. And Gleam's like, no, you're talking crap. You don't know what you're on about. And of course, Bob the Science Guy sort of said, my dad used to do that. I think it was his dad or his uncle or something. Yeah, actually flew in a B-24 Liberator and used to shoot the stars using the sextant. But Gleam's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You've got it all wrong, blah, blah, blah. That was going on the whole fucking hangout, And then, as you saw, the last sort of few minutes was B-Ball and Gleam just fucking going for it, which was priceless. I should have to go back and watch that last 10 minutes again. So, yeah.
Interesting. What else is going on? Yeah, that's right, Sean. For those of you guys in Discord, my camera is on. I got my new camera. I don't have a problem being on camera. My camera's been broke, and I just got.
It's weird though, because you're on camera, and then directly under it's me. that's
I know. That's where the list of names of that talk. I got to move it down.
I know.
Move it down a little bit more. I already tried moving it once to try to get it out of the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, damn, farmers, you look just like Sean G.
Yeah, funny that, eh?
Yeah. Don't say that, please. I didn't do anything wrong.
Mate, we look nothing like each other.
Maybe just a little bit, though.
I'm sorry, Lord, for saying that.
Oh, dear. Yeah, so that was all quite entertaining.
I like having Gleam around.
And I'm building my green screen tonight, so I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Building your what?
Green screen?
Yeah. I found a website that shows you how to do the DIY green screens and shit with PVC pipe and tarp and fabric. So I'm gonna do that tonight.
Yeah. Cool.
After the stream, I'm gonna go out and get all the stuff and start cutting PVC and setting it up.
Where can you find the fabric?
There's a Michaels by me. It's like a fabric upholstery hobby
haberdashery store.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Davros. Yeah, it's amazing how the only thing green screens are pretty simple to make. When I really looked into it, you could use a green sheet or a blue sheet. The only added part to a green screen that you buy is, I guess, it doesn't collect the lint and the stuff in the air. So, because I guess that will affect the green screen. So, but if you get like a sheet or any kind of fabric that will, you can just clean it with one of those little Wally things that get dust and shit.
Yeah, those magnetic dusters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the hard part is this in blue. Like, if you made one, you'd figure it out pretty simple. It's just making sure there's no creases in it.
Yeah.
So
the crease will show up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that tonight, and so I can have it. That's why I had my camera on. I was like, how much room do I need? How big does it need to be? I was doing all the measurements, and then said, F it. I was just turning the camera on. Because, like I said, I don't have any problem being on camera. For 2.5 years, I was on camera every day. Every single day. Hey, what's up,
I've been thinking about buying one. You can find them online, pretty cheap.
Oh, the one I'm using right now. The one I'm using right now is $25, and it has 3D capability. It's not like a great one, but it does more than what I needed to do. I can't justify buying a $200 one like I've seen.
Yeah, well, the ones that go several $100 end up you're buying a couple of lights and a whole bunch of other crap too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't got time for that. I don't care that much. But like my next big upgrade is gonna be my microphone. I got the microphone I have now is one of those $40, $50 kits that you can get, with the amplifier and the stand and all that. I'm gonna upgrade that, get like one of like the Yetis. I heard the Yetis are pretty decent for the average streamer, stuff like that. So that's my next one because that's why my microphone. I one of the little not transistors, the little black long pieces that stand up on a circuit board and an amplifier. One of those things fell off, and I keep having to solder it on, and that was all the trouble I've been having with my microphone lately. So I'm just gonna get a new one. This one's over a year old now, so it's time to upgrade.
Just a quick question. How do you spell solder?
SOLDER.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So why is the L silent?
Solder.
How do you say? Wait. Say lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Yeah, you guys just effed up your whole thing. Don't come at me like that, bro.
I did that on purpose.
How do you spell pneumatic, Deveros?
Is that pneumatic or pneumatic?
Exactly.
What did you used to say? Gazoon tight? What just happened?
No, but the question is, why would a word that is the word... So, do you say sod when you sell something?
No, we say sold.
Right.
Yeah. Congratulations. You're mastering the English language.
Is it now when I mention cool whip?
Whips. Why are you saying it like that? what do you mean?
Well,
say it like what?
That's the same thing about the word aluminium. It's only in America and Canada that it is called aluminum.
Because that's what it's called.
That's called aluminium.
No.
Oh, wait.
It's chemical name.
I have a question. I have a question for both of you. What is your trade dollar based on?
What?
Huh?
All your trade, your oil, your resources, whatever you trade out of your region, what is it based on? The trade, what is the value? What's it based on?
Sterling.
No, the US dollar. Remember that.
Only the oil we buy is based on the US dollar.
You're welcome. I didn't say everything.
You just said, what is the trade out of your country based on?
Yeah. It's the US dollar.
Which is good, because you pay us in US dollars for the uranium that you buy from us.
So we can bury it places. I know, Davros. I know. I was just fucking around.
I know, it's all good, man.
I was trying to trigger. I know exactly what you're about to say.
I like when we play the game, so it's fun.
It's like, it's not uranium. They didn't bury uranium. They don't bury uranium.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they bury tons of fucking graphite.
What's it called?
What's easier?
What's
30
it called?
tons of irradiated graphite to bury?
Mm-hmm.
Or just leave it above ground?
Fuck it.
Because the graphite naturally just gets reabsorbed into the...
Who cares? That's what they said. They were like, fuck it. Bury it. Leave it alone. We don't even need to put walls around it. Let's just put a roof over its head.
That's... Well, no. So the stuff they did on the Marshall Islands wasn't from nuclear reactors. That was the fallout.
No. Yeah, that's fallout. Yeah, completely different. Yeah. We better hope it's not the same. We be some fucked motherfuckers. We can control the waste we get from fucking nuclear plant, or we can't control it. We can easily store it though in its own location. Yeah, have you heard about that? You guys know what San Onofre power plant is in California, Southern California? It's a old nuclear power plant. They shut it down since I think for the past 10 years now. But the big problem they have is all their waste is stored on site, and the United States doesn't act. When you really, the United States does not have a waste location to go to right now. That one mountain, I think it's full. I don't think they're putting anything else in there anymore. Up northern United States.
Yeah,
So,
I'm trying to
actually,
remember
saw
where I
a
was
good.
going.
You talking about Yucca Mountain?
Yeah.
Yep. So, saw a good video by someone today about the moon does mysterious things.
Like what, orbits?
No, Channel Q did a brilliant video using the Boondocks.
Yes.
Wait.
Poor old Matrix. I forgot. I was in that.
Wait,
I'd forgotten about that until I
the,
saw the video.
The Boondocks. You're talking about the cartoon one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is so fucking awesome.
She used bits like that, right, and overlaid the audio.
Hang on.
It was beautiful. Matrix was slick back.
Q, you're lighting up, but we can't hear you. I'm not sure. You may need to come out of your truck. Oh, there you go.
I had to make that whole little bit with where he's looking out his window. That's not from the Boondocks. I had to create that.
Yeah.
Share a damn link. I want to see it.
I had forgotten that he said that. I'd forgotten that hangout, and then when you put it up, I thought, oh yes, the moon peeking on him when he's taking a piss. Yeah.
I had to wait till it became a classic.
I hate when I wake up late. I miss everything.
You didn't see it, Sean. You'd love it.
No, but the best bit is
Moon Matrix is right.
I go to the toilet and I look out the window and it's not there. And then when I finish taking a pee, there it is. Well, it's almost like the planet's moved and the moon is coming to view.
Can I play it?
Yep. Yeah, but how long's he taking a pee for?
Can I play it? Can I play snippets of it?
What? I can't hear you, Sean.
Can I play snippets of your upload?
It's only like 7 minutes long.
I know it's only 7 minutes long.
Permission.
Yeah, I'm not going all rude style. It's like I'm playing it. You're on my show. I'm playing it.
If you want to play it on your show, I don't care.
Bit of a vague question, isn't it?
Not a vague
it's
question.
Very funny and it's very well done.
What will be satisfactory
really
to the Globers as a flat earth model?
Okay, it's playing right now. You guys hit that live link.
You didn't start it at the beginning. I didn't even hear the intro.
I did. I was hearing it.
There we go.
I would screen share it, whatever one.
That's the intro music.
You have to get prepped. Prepped by the Q.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to get queued up.
Oh!
Exactly.
Well done. Well done.
If we're not living on a sphere flying through space, if that's in question, right? What is the nature of our reality?
That's a bit of a vague question, isn't it?
Not a vague question, right?
It's a very vague.
What will be satisfactory to the Globers as a flat earth model?
We want a mathematical construct that can represent the things in your reality and how they interact with each other.
That's the problem. You guys want a mathematical construct of a vision of a globe on a flat plane, right? We're talking about the nature of our reality. We're questioning it.
I had a conversation with you. You showed me videos you took of yourself filming the moon outside during the day.
I never said it meant anything. I never said it meant anything.
Why are you asking the damn stupid question about why is the moon out during the day? You don't even know why it's out during the day. So you need to ask the question. You also need to answer it.
I know the story. I just don't believe it. I want
you need to. No, you don't. Why is the moon out? Why is some days is the moon out at the same time as the sun? Tell me why it's there.
Go ahead, explain it, Channel Crazy.
I thought you knew.
No.
I thought you knew. I wanted you to tell me because it's a question you have. You've made videos.
To provide no alternative explanation.
Well, what the fuck are you doing questioning anything then if you aren't going to come to a conclusion?
Get out of here with this bullshit. Get out of here with this bullshit.
You just threw a double negative sentence at us, so you just told us that you do need to do shit.
We are all allowed to question.
No, what's the point of question if it doesn't lead you to a conclusion, I said?
What kind of people don't question anything?
What kind of people don't answer their questions?
He said he can't explain it, right?
explain to me why it is out during the day.
Because she does shit like that.
Channel Crazy is acting very hard, of course, as usual, but that's fine. We can learn stuff. Me, myself, in terms of my own reckoning, well, it's all got to do with the cycle at the source, what's happening at Aristarchus center.
Blah, 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 blah. This is beautiful. Aristarchus is moving up and down.
It's so funny. Literally,
this needs to go viral.
When is the next time I can expect to see the moon out during the day? What day of this month or next month might I be able to observe the moon being out during the day? Do you know that?
No, I haven't gone into listing. I haven't gone into that depth.
So you don't really know the cycle of the source and how it works out on a timeline to explain to me when I can expect to see it again?
Right. So what you can do is, because it's all a pattern-based system, someone else has worked that out for us, right? Right. The people who have been documenting all of these things.
Are those people heliocentric model subscribers?
Whatever they are, if the information that they have put out there is accurate and remains true, then it reflects reality.
So you don't know why the moon is out during the day sometimes?
So what I said, what I'm saying to you is that it all depends on what's going on at the source. As the moon is a reflection of the sun in movement, if the source at the North Center is halfway through its motion, for instance,
she wants the globe, the official globe story, man. As quoted in Google. That's what she wants.
I think she'd be happy with any kind of explanation that makes sense, but nothing you've said so far does.
Blue.
I'm asking you the cycle of the source, and I'm asking you how do you grasp that? How do you predict when the next time I can see the moon is?
All we have is a reflective barrier, right? A mirror barrier, and we have the sun. So this, depending on where the sun is in relation to the barrier, then we will get a reflective pattern. It's a general picture I'm trying to paint here. So first of all, understand that, and then
paint by numbers.
No, it's not paint by numbers. Again, this is just pattern recognition. You recognize a pattern, and once you, first of all, bring it back to the source.
This is fucking awesome.
This is the source of all of these skylines moving itself. Then we can correlate the two, and you can pick up on the pattern, and then just go along and make your next prediction. This is how they do it in the globe model.
New Matrix, have you spent some time thinking about how it's possible that the moon is out during the day and have an explanation yet?
On the flat Earth reality?
Sure. Whatever explanation you want to give, Matrix. I don't care what the shape of the Earth is in your explanation.
Well, to me, those are just luminaries. They do whatever they do.
Oh, wonderful.
The moon is kind of tricky, man. Sometimes, right? Let me tell you something about the moon, right? Sometimes I look out my window. There's no moon. I go take a piss, and I come back, and boom, the moon's there. Right? This is the weirdest thing that just happens, and somehow it's supposed to rotate. It's supposed to rotate. Okay. What
happens?
Well, I have camera footage of the moon very close up. So it's just
the
a matter
moon
of
is
time.
playing tricks on you?
It's just a matter of time before I get the footage to shut the motherfuckers up.
The moon is spying on them, and
I cannot wait to take a lot of footage of the moon.
The moon, does it take peekaboo? When you see it, does it come out and it's like peekaboo?
You guys are saying that it's in a rotation, so it should come gradually. And that motherfucker just pops up sometimes. Right? So how the fuck was that shit?
Shit, Matrix, have you ever heard of clouds? Have you ever seen the clouds block out the sun?
Matrix, right, in all seriousness, have you ever watched the moon?
They're going to say Matrix idiot.
Have you ever watched the moon through a camera for any more than a few minutes at a time?
Matrix dumb.
Which are invisible, and it's when they interact with the atmosphere, or more particularly the water particulation in the atmosphere, we get to see these as seemingly solid shapes, but they are all reflections, and the moon itself is a reflection of solidity. Last thing I'll say is ask yourself, Matrix, why the sun and the moon are the same size in a flat.
Are you talking like a laser when you blow smoke at it? That it's only then when you're able to see the laser.
Exactly, man. So
and the atmosphere acts like the smoke in this metaphor of yours.
Exactly. So it's the water, and the atmosphere is motion.
Oh, Q, that's just a work of genius.
Q.
I like the exit music.
Q, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Keep playing, keep playing.
But tonight's the
I had forgotten about that hangout until I watched this the other day, and I thought, oh,
was fucking amazing.
Sean, are you glad that I brought this up?
I'm so happy you brought that up. That was.
Oh, that's so funny.
So when's the next coming out, Q?
What? Well, there's a Lemon Birds video. Why is there an echo?
Oh, there's an echo, isn't there?
It's Farmers this time, I think. Nope, it's No Name.
I'm pushed to talk.
Oh, well, you were just...
Well, stop pushing your button.
Yeah, that video came together really good. I mean, it was a great conversation. And I don't know, that's just like whenever I'm talking to Matrix, that character from the Boondocks is what is in my head because I've never seen Matrix.
I'm a pimp named Slickback. You will refer to me as a pimp named Slickback. Now, unless you can understand that the money for a hoe is my money, you will still refer to me as a pimp named Matrix. Oh, did Sean drop?
No, I'm right here.
No.
No, he's...
I was getting the... I'm at the top, and I was getting the video ready. That was awesome. I want to see this one now.
Are you talking through a potato again?
Does it sound like that? God damn it, I hate this. That's why I'm getting a new microphone.
Oh, you got a potato.
New potato, a fresher one. Oh, dude, prepare yourself for Lemon Bird.
We're at like 4,000 feet.
Yeah, you know what, LK? I did have was recording yesterday after Jose's, but we had a glitch in my recording, so none of the volume.
Resolution.
I was going to make an excellent video. It was all coming together in my head, but I don't have the audio.
That's
it's gone forever.
Pretty obvious because if you double the mountains in the distance, up and down, that gives you a rough estimate of how high you are above the ground. You're at least that high to have that sort of convergence. And everything converging up to that line in the lower half of your vision would be essentially working up to that point, because as you get further away from somebody due to perspective, the same area holds twice as much visual information increasingly as you get further from the observer. So something the same height that's like 12 feet away from you, if you double that distance, that will look the same as something that's 24 feet high or something like that. That's or rather the same height that's 24 feet away from you, but double the height. So you're basically compressing the visual information and doubling how tall objects are as they get further away.
Please tell me you had to search for the song. It wasn't in your playlist.
No, it's just that you're getting higher and the optical information is getting less compressed. A camera over the lake, you see the light begin to disappear because the angle is narrowing, not rendering any information. You're getting a line or the sunlight disappearing on the lake because it's just too converged. Not based off of bad principles, like the only thing that can make objects disappear is an object in the way, as opposed to the convergence of light with optics. If you take a 10-meter pole and center it at your eye line, it will disappear evenly top to bottom, but that same 10-meter pole will look the same size based off of angular size as a 20-meter pole that's twice as far away, because your eye is compressing more and more visual information into the same space as the object gets further and further away from you. But eventually there's so much visual information with, say, a 5, you can't resolve the information and you get a line. And it's also compounded by the fact that you're way too close to the ground, so you only have 6 feet from your eye line down and a whole lot of object from your eye line up that is converging at a different rate, and the rates are different in your top and bottom fields. Yeah. The bottom converges even more faster than the top. The top is going to set to that convergence because the angles are paired to give you an accurate proportional 2D rendering. Please watch the video. This is highly technical. It's very hard to explain the stuff. Please watch the video. Well, we have learned that there's another mechanism for obstruction, optical obstruction, due to light rays being so compressed and so smushed on the center of the eye that all you render is a line, a horizon line in this case. So we need to look into how this would work optically without a hump of Earth curvature in the way.
That means your brain would have to work differently.
I want another one, and I want another one now. Damn it!
That was pretty freaking epic.
Yeah, brilliant.
He's like the weirdest Adventure Time character ever.
Isn't he just?
Well, the thing is, when we're in gems and stuff, I'll put that lemon bird up when lemon bird's speaking, and it matches.
That's what you did to me. No name, you're echoing.
I told you.
But I'm not pushing the button.
You are pushing the button. You're green.
Stick.
You got sticky
I
button.
don't know. I just exited Sean's live thing. Let me
echo. Yeah, see how you turned it off real quick.
Oh, nice. Gonna come back and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on another one, Sean. I just
Yeah, you need to do one on Gleam, Q.
Oh.
If you want to know something, those two videos, the Matrix and the Lemon Birds one, they took me maybe 6 hours each to make.
Damn, it's not very long.
I'm impressed with the Matrix one. I thought that'd take you long.
You had those in your head. You were ready. You were just trying to release, releasing it all in time, not to forget. That's my biggest problem.
Sean,
I know.
Potato.
Yeah,
I know.
Maybe you ought to peel it or something.
I hate you guys. I'll try to fix it.
You sounded better when you used your.
Yeah, we need to stab you.
Keep talking. As Pink Floyd said. Yeah. So anyway, yes. That's 100 times better.
Yep. It's like he borrowed Crash's connection or something.
Oh. It is that better.
He's just cutting out.
I found
He
some
doesn't sound like
pictures I have to
Crash.
share with you later.
Okay. Hey, we're not going to laugh when he sounds like that in person. Do you understand that? Like, we're gonna feel bad as fuck. Like, we're gonna feel guilty as fuck because we sat here and made fun of fucking Crash this whole time.
Oh my god, he's coming right for us.
He's going to walk up and be like, we're gonna be like, oh shit, we're going to hell.
It wasn't, is it, that connection? He does talk like that.
What I liked was how Q used Uncle Ruckus as Blue Bubbles.
That was awesome. Came out of nowhere.
Brilliant, absolutely. I'll tell you what, Q. I mean, I thought you'd done some good videos, but that was just, that was brilliant, and it's just so funny. I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten about it completely. I must admit.
Yeah, my missus went to work this morning like 6:30, right? So I go and check one of the games on my phone, and then someone tagged in everyone in I think it was Jose's or Gems or somewhere, and then I found this Channel Q video, and I saw a pimp named Slickback, and I'm like, oh, hang on, is this about Slick James? Because that's who I equate it to. Anyway, I watched it, and I'm just like, it lifted me up. It was beautiful.
No, it's absolutely superb. Well done,
Just
Q.
for the lulz.
Yeah. Well, you always say you're here for the lulz, and you brought them in spades for that one, I'll tell you.
I just want you to know, if I make a video about Slick, he'll be white.
Yes.
Actually, you know that there is a white character in the Boondocks, who's supposed to be
Yeah,
a
but I'm
rapper.
not gonna use the Boondocks again.
Yeah, he needs to be a fat white kid with pimples.
I've already got Slick's character picked out. It's from a very old movie.
Oh, what a tease!
He needs to be the kid from A Christmas Story where he gets his tongue stuck to the pole.
Now that would just sound and look weird.
Yeah.
Slick's got a big black man voice, and that kid's a little scrawny redheaded kid.
Exactly.
I don't know if I could handle that juxtaposition.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it for 6 hours. You'd be laughing too much.
Making that Slick one was hard enough, or Slick, with the pimp Matrix one.
Matrix. Yeah, but now that you've said it, yeah. I mean that just, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get that image out of my head when I hear him there.
Especially the window part. I mean, that part was making me laugh so hard, and I would tear up. I feel like this is going to be great. People are going to love this.
Yeah, like I said, I'd forgotten about it, and as soon as it started playing, when he started going on about that, I look out the window and the moon's not there, and I thought, oh yeah, I remember this now. I remember what he said. It's just one of those moments where you think, did he really just say that? Yep.
Yeah, I like how I asked Pete if it's paint by numbers, and he takes my question seriously.
Seriously?
It's like, no, it's not paint by numbers.
Oh, that was a very strange hangout. I have to admit, that was.
My other favorite part.
Well,
is
Q,
when
you just said
Matrix answers. Wait, when Matrix answers, dude, it's like, I'll tell you what I think they are. They're luminaries, and then LK's like, oh, wonderful, and Blue's like, shithead. So hard.
Shithead.
I was gonna say, you were talking about what you were talking about, how Pete did the number thing. I know most of you guys remember that conversation we had with Pete, where everyone was using the paragraph generator, whatever the hell it was called. The
woo generator.
The quote generator. That's what it was. And everyone kept reading those quotes to Pete, and Pete was having a conversation with them. I have that on recording.
Oh,
that's funny.
That was the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
That was classic.
Yeah, and he's done it since then. But that first time was the best.
Pete's language that day.
It was like
the bullshit generator.
Yeah,
I was DMing. I was DMing and Skyping people in the background, telling people to shut the fuck up and not say just let this happen.
Oh dear.
I don't remember who started it, but I caught on, and then I started reading from it, and then one by one, everybody was figuring it out, except
unpaid chill.
Yeah, it was unpaid.
Was it unpaid that started?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember because he came out of nowhere and was like, guys, let me handle this. And they just started it. It was great.
Oh, I knew the instant unpaid started that. I knew where he was getting it from, and I thought, oh, here we go. This could be funny.
There you go, Q.
I started like that. Bitch, you serious?
Go ahead, explain it, Channel Crazy.
I don't know. It just does what it does. So shit happens.
Has anyone talked to Matrix since that came out?
Oh, you still knows what he's doing.
I saw Matrix in Jose's, and he watched the video and he commented he liked it.
Yeah, he was in the side chat this afternoon, wasn't he?
Lemon Birds likes his video too. He commented and he shared the video that he's talking about.
Yeah, because it's the
to the top.
It's the first time Lemon had ever talked for 3 minutes and 40 seconds uninterrupted, nonstop.
No,
no, the
technically, I edited out. He was
but you would never know the difference.
He was getting talked over like crazy. It was sometimes it was just like 6 people talking at once. It was just jumbled noise.
But you would never know the difference. If no one knew, no one would have. That's awesome.
I cleaned it all up and I picked out only Lemon Bird when nobody was talking over him or anything. I put it all together.
But it all worked. That's so crazy.
It was just like big chunks, you know.
Mm.
There were chunks where he talked for a long time.
I'm just saying this: you don't know Lemon until you've heard the 3 sides of Lemon.
Oh no! Everybody was giving me clips of him freaking out.
No. There is a thug at Lemon. Oh, you never heard it? Okay, so Thug Lemon. Thug Lemon talks like this and don't fuck around at all. Swear to God, not playing at all. It's Lemon's real voice. You heard that one?
No, I know I have that same thing in me.
Yeah, but it's different when it's coming from Lemon because it actually gets deep. It is very deep.
When was this?
Like he drops his balls or something? What happens?
Yeah, 100%. Completely different Lemon. That's why I said there are 3.
Wow.
And one of them is a thug, and you don't want to fuck with that one. I'm telling you right now.
Was he going by Lemon Bird when he was
Yep.
talking like that?
Yep, it was some morning.
See,
it was
his
early.
name was he never called himself Lemon Bird. Okay, look, he come in at the Arva Enley guy, and I saw the little picture was a little Lemon Bird, and so then because he was saying ridiculous stuff, I started calling him Lemon Bird, and then now that's just his name.
Okay.
It started with me.
Yeah, it was. It was like one morning.
That's awesome.
Someone had said something to him that triggered him, but it went from that argument of wine sound, and he was just like, "I don't care. I'm not fucking playing with you right now." And I was like, "What the fuck did I just hear?" Like I combed the voice chat, and I was like, "Did I just hear? Like, who was that?" It was Lemon. I even asked Lemon, like maybe a week or 2 later, I asked Lemon, and he even verified there is a thug in him. But yeah, that I'm telling you right now, Lemon, if you get on that side, Lemon has a Barry White voice.
Oh.
I shit you not. It is deep as fuck.
I'm gonna have to converse with Thug Lemon.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be trying to wind him up.
Yeah. I started some shit that I can't. I just don't want Thug Lemon to beat me up now. I thought people knew. I didn't think I was the only one that had heard it.
No, I've not heard that side of it. Don't think I have anyway. Pretty sure I remember.
I've seen him make a bunch of like self-deprecating, homophobic jokes about himself and his boyfriend.
Yeah. We'll put it this way: it's not a voice. It's not the voice he uses ever. It was very rare. I've only heard it once, but it was he verified that it does have that is his voice. Or not that that's his voice, but that's not that was him. He verified it.
It's not this one that you hear. It's completely different, you know.
I've heard many people accuse Lemon of being on a voice changer, and I will just say now, if so, well played.
Oh, speaking of voice changers,
yes,
there's some drama going on concerning voice changers.
Are you going to mention Ranty the Globe-Earth hero?
Now, did he or did he not use a voice changer? Now, so what he did was he went and got the guy and brought him on, didn't he?
Yes. He actually played a few minutes worth. Because he'd got the whole intro. He'd obviously got the guy sat down in a room somewhere and said, look, you know, I'm going to set this recording. I'm going to go out and leave you to it. Because he basically recorded however long it was, a 2-hour bloody epic something or other. And he's sort of saying, the guy's asking him, have you got this on video? No, it's just recording your voice, blah, blah, blah. And the guy starts talking, the guy starts doing his spiel. And they're interacting with each other beforehand, so you can tell it's not Ranty impersonating somebody else because they're talking to each other. So he'd obviously got the recording off this guy and then used some voice changing software to make it all sound sort of ominous and, you know, all rather pointless, really. And of course, you know, Oakley and Riley and everybody had gone, oh, that's just Ranty using a voice changer. No way, that's somebody else. That's Ranty. And then he proved it wasn't.
Yeah,
and then even more miraculous, Riley apologised for being wrong, and I nearly fell over.
Oh, you know, I saw it because Ranty had a precarious live stream title.
Yes.
And I was like, what do you mean? And then, so I was like, well, isn't this Black Swan enough that, you know, you had to create a distraction from your distraction?
Yeah.
Because everybody's leaving that show, I guess. That's what I picked up from that, whatever Randy was talking about.
Yeah, what was saying? Let's have a look. Former Illuminati master, covert investigator journalist exposes coronavirus truth. That was the title of his live stream.
Oh, yeah, the truth that it was patented by Bill Gates. Is that the truth?
Oh, what? You don't expect me to actually listen to it, do you? I mean, what a load of bollocks.
I don't know. That's just, I don't listen to it.
Why would Bill Gates fund a cold?
Exactly.
No. He didn't fund it. He invented it. That's what they think. They think that Bill Gates paid to have this virus invented. So he owns the patent to it. You know what I mean? And it was like in 2005 or something. And so then you'll have these different conspiracy theorists arguing about whether or not it's the exact virus that Bill Gates patented or a different like off-breed of that virus. And you'll see like they'll have these major heated discussions about that, which is pure insanity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, because everyone knows it was really Paul Allen that pulled the strings. I mean, think about it.
You mean the guy that invented Pogs?
Right. Think about it. It all makes sense if you don't think about it too much.
Did you say
like any
Pogs?
Conspiracy? Yeah, Pogs. Paul Allen, he invented the Pog. The thing you got in the packet of chips, yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
A Pog is a game.
No, the discs, right? The Pog.
That's little
spinny things.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
They're deadly. They outlawed them in America.
Yeah, the breakers.
Everything's trying to kill you in Australia, even your toys.
Yeah, they were quite big over here at one.
Till people died.
What about, isn't there some like chocolate egg full of tiny miniature toys that they sell in Germany but not in the United States?
Kinder Surprise.
Oh, Kinder Surprise, they sell them over here as well. Yeah.
What the hell? What are they?
They sell them here.
Yeah,
Kinder eggs.
They sell them here.
They're a little chocolate egg, and inside there's a little plastic thingamajig that you open up. Now, a little toy or something inside.
They were
so it's a
banned
choking
for
device.
A while, though, weren't they?
No, the funny thing is, on the box it says not suitable for children under the age of 4.
Yeah.
Right.
There are some dumb adults out probably choking that shit too.
Or flurf. Remove the warning labels, people. That's all I'm saying. Thin the herd. It'll be a self-correcting problem.
Oh, it's like the fight that they're having with is it Purell about having to remove the using these sanitizers helps prevent coronaviruses. People think it helps them stop the actual COVID-19 virus.
Huh.
They're in the cruise ships drinking Perel by the bucket.
Yeah, well, they didn't do it on the Scientology boat when they all got the measles, did they?
I thought the coronavirus was over. They let people off the boats.
Depends on how long they're on there. I think the quarantine is what, 2 weeks?
Something like it's 2 or 3 weeks, isn't it? I think they just keep them on and wait and say, oh, actually, you're fine now, you can go.
Yeah, but how would you feel?
China's reported that 1,100 people have died. And then there's another, like, he's a kid or something, and he was, like, on the news. And I was, like, watching. He's talking about, like, how he was okay and how they were giving him AIDS medication to treat him. Okay? And then when
antiviral.
When I read through the comments, a lot of people had commented that they thought that he had a gun to his head to say those things. I thought that was pretty strange.
Mm.
There's like people that are out there that are just like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, just so you know, there's a company in, I think the town's called Tempe, Tempe, called COVID. They're a visual communications expert. Right? They're called COVID. They're apparently really pissed about the new name of the coronavirus.
There should be like a program on the internet where you can put a name in and find out if anybody already uses it or some version of it.
Oh, it seems somebody moderately famous over here has killed herself. Yeah.
It's a rather out of the blue thing to say.
Well, I was just checking tabs I've got open on the other screen.
Yeah, Farmer.
Yes.
No.
What?
Because they're only moderately famous. There was no need to name said non-person.
I thought he said homeless, not famous.
No, yeah.
Moderately famous.
Former Love Island host Caroline Flack.
Homeless described.
Love Island? That's not famous.
No, she's. I know of other things, but I think her last role was hosting Love Island. Caroline Flack, 40. She's killed herself. There you go. Just keep you up to date with celeb news.
Jeez, I meet myself for 5 seconds to eat, and I come back, and you're talking about suicides? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, anyway, never mind.
If you feel like killing yourself, talk to me.
I'm sure you know. Just so
I don't feel like killing myself. There's one or two people I'd quite happly throttle, but
no. I'm a necrophiliac, so I want. I just want your address for collection purposes later on. I'll take care of the mess. If you don't mind having your corpse violated on a nightly basis.
Well, it won't be forever.
There was a funny
but I'm sure that the corpse won't mind.
A bridge because he told her that, and it worked.
Matrix Media's in the house.
What up, Matrix?
He said listening to us is like listening to the news.
Here's the news.
Did you hear the breaking story earlier?
The moon just pops up out of nowhere.
Yep. It peaks on
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
Oh yeah, no name. Have you been thinking about that thing we discussed the other day?
Oh.
Could you be more vague and ambiguous?
Yes.
Cthulhu?
Oh.
Careful, don't wake him up.
Yeah. Yeah, that woke me up. I'm sorry, I had completely forgotten about it.
No, don't wake up Cthulhu.
We do brainstorm a lot, though.
Yeah.
Is
So
that a dog?
Somehow we have to work in the density vector with this as well.
No,
Is that a dog whistle?
Excuse me?
Is that a dog whistle?
Excuse me?
Dog whistle?
The fuck? I don't hear a dog whistle.
For what?
Are you verifying right now? I'm not sure. You're like, you guys hear that, right?
Wake up, Cthulhu. He's still sleeping in Rylea.
Who is that? What? Who? What? Why do you keep saying a dog whistle?
You don't know what a dog whistle is?
I know exactly what a dog. It's a dog whistle.
You didn't watch my video. We're on the internet.
It's a Labrador whistling a jaunty tune.
You know what, Gil? I watch some of your videos when I get a chance, but I've been working a lot. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean I don't care.
No, I'm just saying you don't know what a dog whistle is because of that.
I know what a dog whistle is.
No, it's not a dog whistle because we're on the internet. And when you're on the internet, there are no dogs. So a dog whistle is not like a dog whistle when you're not on the internet. It's a different thing.
I will look into that.
Well, I can tell you.
Okay, please do.
A dog whistle is when you say a certain phrase or you can give a hand sign. And certain people know what it means, but other people don't.
Okay.
So only the dogs can hear it, you see?
I see.
So I asked, is Cthulhu a dog whistle?
It's like the way flat earthers unite in a server.
No, it'd be like if they were saying Cthulhu because it meant like they were all gonna like pull a prank, and anyone who doesn't know what Cthulhu means doesn't know what's about to happen.
Project Mayhem.
Pussies.
My problem with my part in Project Mayhem is that I often forget about my part in Project Mayhem. So,
are you not supposed to talk about Project Mayhem?
I think so, but I always forget that part too.
Yeah, it sounds like a hush-hush plan.
Well, that's the thing.
It's very deep. It's an Inception level.
What no one forgets about Project Mayhem is about the fact that we are to disrupt and confuse at the same time, but we forget that we've confused ourselves.
Exactly. It would be hypocritical for us to act in any kind of rational manner about this, Sean. You have to understand.
That was so eloquently said. I really feel like you were... What? I'm not saying again. That word is not easy to say. You kiss my ass on that shit.
He's confused already. It's working.
Word salad.
No name. You're confused, not me.
Atolls, Cthulhu monsters.
No name. We were talking about you, man.
Could be worse. Could be Nyarlathotep.
Alright, I got a super chat. Thank you, John.
Yeah,
he
for
says,
me, that's really weird.
Channel Q, I'll be your dog.
Yeah.
That was super weird. He must be
It's too
drinking.
orangey for crows.
Are you
It's just for me and
drinking?
my dog.
Hey, John, are you drinking? If so, you can say all the comments you want, but it's gonna cost you 5 of those weird squiggly lines.
I know.
I'm just kidding. But for real, that is kind of weird.
He's drinking Kiora.
He's drinking what?
Dude, YouTube won't let me monetize my channel.
Kiora. It's too
Do you
orangey
have-
for crows. It's
Do you
just for
have
me
the,
and my dog.
Do you have the 1,000 subs?
No.
Oh, okay,
You
yeah.
can't monetize.
You're nowhere near it.
That's like 530 some odd subs.
Yeah, you need 1,000 subs and 4,000 view hours in 12 months.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I'm not
shit
gonna
is.
give
As the plain truth knows all too well.
Because
That
I
is not
deleted
fun.
a lot of my videos.
Yeah, it
Because
takes
they
away.
were like just those music things that I was doing before, and they were all like copyrighted to shit. So I
The
deleted
copyright
all
does.
that.
The copyright doesn't matter because they're soft.
Yeah, but I just was gonna go through all of my live streams and make little videos out of little things in them.
Well, I
Oh,
reckon if you do that, you're probably going to get more subs if you do these things like you did with Lemon Bird and Matrix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
planning
got-
on going through all these
Yeah.
old live streams I have recorded and a bunch of other shit that I have just sitting in a folder, like random shit I recorded of people talking.
I have like 3.5 to 4 years worth of conversations, and sometimes I'll go through 1 or 2 of them, and I'm just like, holy crap! How do I look through all this shit?
Yeah,
Like
how many times do you listen to something and you go, damn, that's some good shit.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I won't listen to any of my old shit when I was a flat earther. I haven't listened to any, like all this, the first year, I won't listen to any of that shit. I haven't listened to any of
Because
it.
how dumb you sounded, or
I
Yes,
need to go back.
exactly.
Is any of that still up on your channel?
Everything's on my channel. Everything from the first time I streamed.
Go back and listen.
Everything's.
My
If you
first
want
ever
to,
live
if you want,
stream
if you want to find the stuff, if you want to find the stuff from when I first came around, you're not going to be able to find it. You've been exposed channel. You guys channel, you know what I'm talking about. His channel got taken down, and they took all this shit. And the only streams that exist are the random ones I used to record for him. Because I used to record for him while he was streaming, so it wouldn't affect his bandwidth. And so I have I probably have like 30 or 40 of his streams that got taken. But you know, like if you want to see, see, no one knows this. You got to find it. I'm never gonna upload it. You got to find it your damn self. Channel Q probably remembers. I used to go on camera all the fucking time. Here's the thing. I used to do it from my garage. Not live stream. I used to be on camera on panels all the time, but I used to do it in my garage. So during the summertime, it was hot. So when I first started getting on live stream, I used to go on live stream, just not have a shirt on. That's how I just became known online. It was weird for a long time, for like almost a year.
I remember
You and Dragnot.
When I was on You've Been Exposed, when I first started there, I hadn't encountered. I hadn't really got into it with Tim and them until I started streaming. The first day I streamed was the first day that I got into it with Tim. That was an experience. I jumped head first. I did it the dumbest way you could possibly do it. I insulted the biggest troll of them all. and then when I'm going to live stream and they all follow. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I was convinced for the longest time. Before I left Flat Earth, my subs loomed around 800. I swore more than half of those accounts had to have been like troll sock accounts. Had to have been. I was convinced of it for the longest time. Like, you guys see you guys see the nice version of the fight. It used to be definitely more anger and intensity and what do you call it? Intent. Yeah, that's a good one. There used to be a lot more intent behind the shit that happened around here. Porn bombs are rare. They happen, but they're rare.
I'm
like
glad
they used to be. They used to be a porn. Being porn bomb was a nightly worry. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now. I even do it myself. I know Jose. Everyone does it. We are starting to use OBS like it's our bitch again. It's not a good idea. We all need to stay vigilant. Because I was around when we didn't have OBS smarts and we were doing stupid shit with Hangouts and oh man, Hangouts.
Yeah, I took a lot of crap for going around and teaching everybody how not to get their channel fucked up by that.
I spent many of hours.
I even fucking told Dell because I went on to Dell, remember? And I was like, Dell, don't you know how to kick him? And he's like, no, I don't. I was like, well, look. And I gave him a little tutorial. And then Tim was like, fucking hated me. He's like, you taught Dell how to be a Nazi.
Yep. So every time, so this is what would happen. Every time, basically anyone, or like for me on my side, because I was Flat Earth when this was going on, it'd be like this. Anytime we figured out how the trolls were working. Yes, it was systematic, yo. So we used to use Hangouts, and the goal was to find that link. If you showed it on the screen, you were fucked. If you showed blah blah blah. But anytime someone would have a loophole, figure out the loophole. For instance, the PMARS bell. When Jose figured that out, this would be the same thing. When we figured out a loophole of how to stop them, they would go irate. It's a little known secret. But like I used to spend hours on different streams, Sun and Moon, You've Been Exposed, Percent. I used to spin on a lot of panels, and all I do is sit in the back panel in the bed. We call it the back chat, in the back, and I would just sit there waiting for trolls because I knew every troll name. I mean, trust me, trolls. Their sock accounts aren't far from what they really like. So you start seeing it, and a name would pop in, and my job. What I gave my job that I gave myself, or to just snipe trolls all day. And there was a time on You've Been Exposed, I had to snipe. I'd say probably about 45 trolls within a 2-hour period.
Yeah, see, I never did that. I was always just come on as myself, and if they kicked me, they kicked me.
Well, I remember that. I remember like you, Lewis,
Yeah, me and Lewis would be hanging out in Discord together.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, this is so good. I can't be mad at me for this. I know you got to remember it. So Lewis comes on to You've Been Exposed. We're all flat earthers, and Lewis says, "I can prove to you that a person can be a human can be in the vacuum of space," or some shit like that. Blah blah blah. And he shows this broke down video of a guy putting his hand in a glove in a vacuum chamber. It was bullshit. I'm telling you right now, if Lewis showed that right now, we'd laugh his ass off this fucking panel. But anyway, Dreads, You've Been Exposed, laced into him. The whole panel laced, and Lewis.
And when he started calling him a racist.
Yeah. Lewis used to get, like, Lewis is chill now. Lewis used to be a very aggravated, angry person. So he goes on this tirade, and You've Been Exposed used to get, like, talk shit to him. And Lewis's thing was, fuck you, say sorry. I want you to apologize. Like, that was Lewis's whole thing. I just want an apology. Basically, Dredd said, F you, get off my panel. We booted him. Was it the next day, Q, or was it the same day? I think it had to have been the same day. Channel Q and Lewis come back to the panel, and Channel Q laced into Dreads like you have no idea. She was like, "Who the fuck are you to talk to him like that?" And, blah, blah. And we started talking shit. We were saying, I think we were saying Lewis brought his mom or something like that, because it was kind of funny.
That's when after Lewis came on, it was two different things. Dredd called Lewis racist. That was the first time Lewis and Dredd ever met.
Yeah.
And it was almost as funny as the first time Lewis ever went on Dell's. That was the best thing. And that's when I started saying Lewis can't hack it.
I remember what triggered it.
Then when I went on and yelled at Dreads, is because his daughter was laughing in the background, and I thought it was a laugh track. And so I went on there to say, "How dare you play a laugh track over him?"
No. So check this out. You remember when? No. It's very close. So Dreads.
Too much crazy, stupid
Dreads
shit.
used to like play sounds over OBS. So for instance, if I can make a soundboard, and I can make it so the people on YouTube can hear it, but no one on my panel would be able to hear it. And so Dreads would be like, Lewis would be playing, would be explaining his video, he's explaining whatnot, and the whole time Dreads is playing shit like just playing funny shit, just joking around, fucking with him. And someone in the chat said it, and Lewis found out, and Lewis was like, "Why are you playing stuff over me? Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry." And that's what kicked it off. But it was
I told him he was playing stuff over him because we were in the Discord together.
Yeah, because that's what it was. So Q comes in, saves Lewis, because Lewis, I don't know, it was weird. Lewis used to go real bad. Lewis used to be a super troll. I didn't come in to save him. I came in
to be funny. We were both being funny. We were both laughing.
Yeah, but
we were giving them a little bit of what they wanted.
But that's the thing. Lewis wasn't acting like that when before you had gotten back. Lewis was Lewis used to, like, in my opinion, used to, like, almost be in tears arguing with Flat Earth. Like, he'd get to that angry, you know, like you get in a fight and you're so mad you start crying. I pictured Lewis doing that every time. No, I'm saying that's a picture of Lewis when him and Tim,
and he wasn't that mad.
Yeah, but back then, when he was rolling around with Tim, I used to think that's how mad Lewis used to get when he got triggered. Like, Lewis is cool now. I like Lewis. Lewis is like a real cool dude. But back in the day,
one time he got triggered real bad on Nathan Oakley's dude.
Yep, I heard that one too. See, everyone.
And then there was a time where he came on Nathan's and he was really fucking drunk and he made a total ass of himself.
I heard about that. I didn't see it though. But that's everyone's like this that talks about all the stuff going on now. Like, this is like what, Q, 5th, 6th time over. Like, we've done this so many damn times. Like, the trolling is so cute. That's why I think Jose does the whole troll and let troll, because he's seen the worst of it before.
Yeah, trolling's okay to an extent, but sometimes it goes way too far.
Well, I say the trolling now is fucking preschool compared.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you now that, I'm pretty sure you know a name. If I told you HP, I haven't seen him around in forever, but I'm not gonna lie, that dude scared the shit out of me back in the day.
Oh, he's okay.
No, I've talked to him. I think I talked to him twice since I left Flat Earth. I know, I do know what he's capable of. so I keep that in the back of my mind. But we're high now. I wouldn't talk to him. It'd be like a phone tap. I wouldn't want to stay online long enough if I see him.
Nah, he's all right, dude. He's got respect. He's not gonna fuck with people.
Well, see, that was the thing. I was going to say earlier, and I know I've said this before, and Tim.
But what was funny is what was that guy's name that he made fucking Dredd think he was a different guy, and they got into a fight.
That was Tim. You're talking about
the guy that was friends with Dredd.
Dojo. Yeah. I was in the middle of that. I was the one who. Yeah, it was because I was the one who found out it was Tim. I remember I was there. I was in the middle of that. Me and Dredd were like brothers at that point. Yeah, it was definitely Tim because Tim. Matter of fact, I probably have those messages from back in the day still in my hangout. You think I'm kidding? I'm serious as fuck. The funny part is so. Tim used to be like, I don't care. I've talked about it once. Tim didn't like it. He didn't get pissed. He said, why are you talking about it? But like Tim used to be like head of all the trolls back in the day. And it got to the point when he go on Dreads because yes, he was. So what would happen is
he wasn't head of all the trolls.
No,
he was all the trolls.
Either way, but like
he was
Tim,
like 300 trolls, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I actually did see a setup once. He
still is. We just don't. He's just like he's sleeper selling on us.
It's very easy to control all those alternate identities.
He is oddly informed on too much of what goes on behind the scenes of certain things. It's the best way I can say it now. But back in the day, because I know Tim. Back in the day,
for him, how does he know?
But back in the day, what happened was Tim his goal was to snipe your panel. Tim was special though. Tim didn't want to destroy your panel and kick everyone off to ruin the show. Tim wanted you to hear him. So Tim would snipe
public service announcements.
Yeah, he would literally snipe a whole panel and then go on a 30-minute rant of how shit worked down the globe. It was fucking awesome. So this would
hey Sean,
him and
I'm special.
You are very special. Hang on. So him and Dreads and Lewis had a weird relationship. They hated each other with a passion, but they always felt the need to talk to each other. It got to the point where Dreads booted Tim from being shown on the chat and all that, so he couldn't come on. And little did everyone know, me and Tim had started to become friendly, be cool with each other after the mass drama that I created. I'm sure you remember that too, Q. And he goes, well, let's make a deal. And at the time, like I said, there were a lot of trolls, a lot of sniping, a lot of porn bombing. So I went, let's make a deal. He said, dude, tell your friends I'm not racist and that I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just want to, not be talked over, blah, blah, blah. But basically, giving his reason. And I went, well, I'll tell them that you're not racist and that you just want to have a conversation if you tell your trolls to back off. And for a good 6 months, we had a good deal going. And that was about 6 months of like 2.5 years ago. Trolls. It was weird. No, I don't want to talk about it because there's a few situations that happened, but yeah, something happened. I got upset with it. I got a message from Tim, and he was just like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Oh, how do you know?" And he's like, "I know everything." I'm like, "Okay." There are definitely. See, that's the fun part, and I always talk about this because it's my favorite thing to talk about. The new guys who are like, "We got it, chemo," and you're like, "Oh yeah, we heard chemo." No, you guys haven't heard chemo like we heard chemo. You guys don't know. I'll tell you, 2.5 years ago, this was a different place. Fire reserves were passive.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were. Oh my God. Wait.
Think about Pancho Pete.
Okay.
Think about Nathan Oakley's been Nathan Oakley
that's the thing.
forever.
When I started, when Pancho Pete started his thing, was when I was going on his panel, and he was not like that. Nathan was not like Nathan. 3 years ago, that wasn't Nathan.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not. You know it. He would
Yes,
never.
it was.
He would
No, no,
never
no,
have
no, no,
cussed
no,
in
no,
his
no, no,
life.
no, no,
He didn't
no,
even know
no.
how to
Time out,
cuss.
Sean. Time out, Sean. Time out, Sean. Mute me from the YouTube.
Oh, okay, hey, wait. Okay, go ahead. You're good. Yeah. So I guess that means he's just hit it really well. But yeah,
Don't you remember the video of when, I don't remember who it was, but Nathan and his wife were mad at somebody. I don't remember who was it. Was it Antonio? Was it Chris, that fat Chris guy? And they were in their kitchen and they were yelling in the camera like two angry pit bulls.
I think it was Antonio, because isn't that what, like, kind of that whole shenanigans is what broke
What
up
are
the
you
little
talking
group?
about? Like, he's always been like that, dude.
Yeah, but he hit it really well, because he used to be like,
Because he used to make recorded videos of him driving a car, and then he started doing live streams and interacting with people every day.
That's what it was. I got to see it when he got comfortable. Because when I first saw him, he used to be well spoken. He never cussed. He was like the gay voice of reason for Flat Earth. It seemed like when I came in, it was like he's oddly calm. I remember because he used to like talk to.
It was almost right after he did that Vice News bit. That's when he went to his live streaming, and that's when you saw what you see now.
Yeah.
But it is different though. It is definitely different. I even saw, because it even happened to me, because when Discord came around, I think it had already been around a year before I found out about it. So I was behind the times there too. Because when I got to Discord, I found Jim's server, and Jim's server, it's definitely filtered itself. But when I got there, 90% of the trolls that I had come across in my daily Flat Earth of life were mods and shit.
You were never in Troll Team 6, were you, Sean?
No. I was dealing with that shit. I was on the Flat Earth side during that.
You were never in the Discord that was Troll Team 6 before
No.
the original gems.
I only heard rumors of it.
Troll Team 6.
That's how I know the trolls were.
It's not a rumor. It was a real legit.
No.
Discord server.
I know that now, but at the time,
And then there was a big fallout between the trolls, so it became Gem's server and P Mars's server.
Yep, and that was when not many people remember this, and this is how I know so much. P Mars actually came on my live stream once, right before the alleged porn bombing. I think he did, and basically outed that whole thing. The whole thing. And I think it was the day he got kicked out of when Tim kicked him out of his YouTube shit and whatever else was going on. But Tim ultimately said, "Fuck you, P Mars." That's when he came on my stream and he outed everything. I even named the stream P Mars Outs Trolls. That is still in my fucking archives if you guys look back in it. And he just got on there and just spilled the beans about everything.
Yeah.
I think the problem is I think it's bigger and it's more organized now. I just think it has they're different intentions now, so it's not as volatile. I don't think.
I don't know. Flat Earth has become weird. Before it was just like a bunch of people making up shit and sitting around for 6 hours. Talking shit, dude.
Yeah, it's so different now.
Now it's like this production of people who are like, look how smart I am. I can debunk flat Earth. A single sentence. It's like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's flat Earth.
My favorite thing is like the other day. Hang on. So the other day, I think Rumpus's name came up out of nowhere. And this is the funny part.
I want to make a video about Rumpus too, but I need the right stuff.
Get me on the panel with him. I don't know what I did, but I know how to trigger the fuck out of this. But every time his name comes up in this on my streams, at least a day or two after, he starts fucking commenting in my video chats, and he's always like moron, and I'm like, Okay, you were corrected by a moron, so what does that make you? Stuff like that, that irritates the fuck out of them.
More off. More off.
Yeah, but
yeah, Gleam, come in here and explain to me about standing in a hole with a ramp again, because I was thinking about that.
And none of that yellow shit, Gleam. I was
thinking about how you were trying to tell me that if I stood in a hole with a ramp in it, that was what the floor was doing when it's converging. But if I'm looking at a flat floor that isn't a ramp, but I put a ramp, then aren't I just using my imagination?
That sounds like an old Monty Python sketch with Scott of the Sahara.
That's cool. Thank you.
And he was too tall, so they dug a trench, and then he was too short, so they strapped blocks of wood to his feet as he stood in the trench.
I don't know what he was talking about. I have no idea.
Scott of the Sahara versus the giant 20 electric killer penguin.
He told me to stand in a 6-foot hole and then put a ramp up.
What I find funny is if you actually,
and that's how the floor limit works for my eyes.
Yeah, but if you actually hold your head upright,
hold my head
you
up
don't notice floor convergence with the horizon. It's only if you tilt your head down you'll see it look like it goes up.
I don't think it ever looks like it goes up, dude. Unless it's a head.
No. If you tilt your head down, it looks like it's heading. This is just using his perspective. It looks, if you tilt your head down or tilt your eyes down, it looks like it's heading up towards the center of your view. But the moment you lift your head up, it drops.
I don't think so.
How does that work? No, it does. I just did it looking out my bloody window. And then the moon appeared.
Maybe your window's a little, smeary.
My window's smeary. Alright, I'll walk out my back door, okay, and then I'll have another look and see if what I see is what I explained. So if I tilt my head down, it looks like that where my back fence meets the ground is towards the middle of my vision. The moment I lift my head up, it looks like I'm looking at the top of the fence.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remove the window variable.
Say the window variable?
Yeah, the window.
She said the smeary window.
I'm sorry, I was actually looking at the chat.
You've seen my cousin Vinny, right? With
fuck yeah, the two Utes.
Yeah,
the two Utes. The what? The two Utes. Yeah,
no, the dirty screen.
What, am I like Rita Rudner funny?
Wow.
That just happened.
You remember the dirty screen part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't do tests through a dirty screen. It's not accurate.
Can't do tests through a dirty picture either.
Does Gleam know that you have to get in the Discord to get in here? Or is he just confused?
No, he's here. Or he's not here, but he knows he's a part of the server.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said he was going to come in here because he said, "Are you excited to hear my voice again?"
I think it just meant from this morning. Because he's on panels again. I don't know. Confused. We're in that witching hour where... John?
Yeah.
Have you come to grips with being a flat earther still?
Did you hear Adam freaking out yesterday? Sorry,
Sean, we're going to have a serious falling out if you keep on with that nonsense. And I'm
just trying to make you comfortable.
I'm actually at the point where I'm thinking about writing you a strongly worded letter. Honestly, really,
you should send it to your flat Earth congressman.
Do you mean you're going to write them all caps?
Do you want to be emasculated?
Sean,
that's the manliest word I could find.
Sean, you do it to yourself. You just do it to yourself.
I'm going to write you a strongly worded letter and put no periods in it so you run out of breath reading it.
Careful, there might be a peer review.
I got many of them. But to figure it out,
Yeah, so
of that, we'll have a peer review of that strongly worded letter.
yeah, so Gleam's talking shit in the chat. I'm really hoping he's maybe thinking about joining the panel.
Well, of course he is.
He said he had a blanket and some herbs, so I don't know. Maybe he's making dinner.
Herbs in a blanket take priority.
Or chillaxing in a chilly room. I don't know.
Dude,
Sounds
I got
fun.
herbs in a blanket then, dude. What's
Hell
up?
yeah. Well, I don't need a blanket. It's hot.
It's like 12 degrees, I think, outside.
It's like 78 degrees outside.
No, it's 30 degrees.
No, it's definitely 78.
It's 12 degrees Celsius with a yellow wind warning and rain.
Don't eat yellow snow.
No, it's
We
yellow
have a
wind.
lovely 19 degrees centigrade.
Did you say yellow wind?
Guys,
Yes, it's a yellow wind warning.
That
means
even
it's
more.
gusty.
That is even more
gonna be
dickheadish.
squally.
Tell that assholes to
squally.
stop peeing upwind.
It's a bit blowy, to say the least.
No, it
Wow,
means don't
we're talking
pee
glory
and
holes
look
now,
out
huh?
the window for the moon.
And it's going to rain for the next couple of days at least, I think, by the looks of
Hey,
it.
Davros, is your country
No.
still on fire?
The porcupine
No,
or the
no,
hedgehog.
it's under control, my friend.
The groundhog said that spring was coming.
No.
Winter's over.
New South Wales is still a bit crispy, but the rest of the country is pretty much under control.
What are you guys going to What are you
I'm
guys
really sorry
going?
about that cigarette end, Davros.
What are you guys?
Yeah, John.
What are you guys going to complain?
Sorry.
Davros, what are you guys going to complain about now?
The fact that Sean
palms.
G hasn't made his trip to Australia yet.
Yeah, you need to talk to your boy. You need to talk to your boy Rich, because from last I heard, he hasn't said a damn thing to me. As far as I knew, he was going to give me the trip, and I haven't heard anything from him.
Yeah, but I haven't seen him for a while, so there's no point trying to message him if I don't know he's about.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you, I haven't talked to Rich at all. So let me know, because it's not like I'm not trying to. The second he says it's you, dude, I'm fucking on my way.
Can I read this to you?
I don't know. It depends.
What you got?
At John Watson, my maths are merely a reverse engineer / coordinate transform, just as you would do with a map projection. You pretend that maths is wrong, but it's not.
Yeah, I was actually trying to pick an opportune moment to say exactly that. But my question is, what the fuck does that mean, Glee?
And how does that explain Polaris being closer than South Africa?
And the sun.
And the sun and the moon and everything.
It's the whole celestial navigation kind of stars, Polaris thing. I just can't. I can't abide it.
It wouldn't. Wouldn't Polaris would have to be the size of a golf ball at 3,000 miles away compared to our sun.
Well, I have been reliably informed that Venus is only a couple of tens of miles across, so who knows?
Huh? What the fuck did you say?
Well,
Polaris can't be 3,000 miles away, because then that puts everything else way closer to us, and that is not true. We just know that's not possible.
No, it's been calculated.
The fact that to think that, okay, to say Polaris is 3,000 miles away, you're saying that stars exist. That's step one. Step two, you're saying then that the sun is what, 1,000 to 1,000,000 times bigger than Polaris and closer. No, I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. I'm
about
saying
4,000 miles away.
They can't be. It has to be closer.
Otherwise,
put it this way. Otherwise, Polaris is so small that it's irrelevant to us. Like with the dot in the sky we see would literally be the size of maybe Maybe the ISS.
Don't forget, Sean, that Polaris isn't one star; it's actually 3.
Well, a cluster, or in a cluster.
Yeah. It's a cluster of 3 stars, but it's 3,000.
So it's a trinary star.
Oh, okay. So what we see as 1 star is 3 stars. Just so far away, it appears to be 1 to us.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not that far away. It's closer than the sun.
It's not closer.
Polaris A star is the one you're looking at.
Polaris is not closer than the sun. Otherwise, the sun would produce. Otherwise, that's the Polaris. The stars would generate our energy.
Also, I think Magellan would have been off course by looking at the Big Dipper at night to try and get to the US.
Yeah.
But that's the point. The most easily verifiable thing about this is celestial navigation, as in, before compasses and GPS and everything. It would not be possible for mariners in ancient history to navigate across the sea without any landmarks, unless they could dependably kind of use the stars as a means of navigation.
Why wouldn't they just go to Best Buy and get a GPS?
Sean,
two minor
this is where we're going to have to kind of agree to disagree again. You know what I mean?
Wait. Where is Barney when you need him?
It's like when the cat in Red Dwarf suggested they shoot something down with the laser cannon, and Crichton had to point out that A, they didn't have any laser cannon, and B, they didn't have any laser cannon. They couldn't go to a shop that didn't exist and buy something that used a technology that didn't exist.
It did
but
exist.
Other than that, it's a good idea.
You guys apparently don't remember talking to listening to we talked to Skyfly. Were you here, Q? When we were listening to Skyfly Theory, when he was telling us that they had nuclear bombs 300 years ago and electricity and all that shit.
Yeah, even Skyfly Bry has some how do I put this politely?
Fucking issues.
Strange ideas. Yeah, all right then.
Let's keep it real, right? That's what we're here for.
Okay, yeah, okay, I'll grant that.
I think I'm special, but he's really special.
Oh, bless him. Yes, he was trying to tell me a few weeks back about the sun's twin. And I said, well, it hasn't got one. The sun's twin. What?
Hang on, I'm just going to go to the toilet, right? And I'll see if the moon will appear.
I thought that was going somewhere else, and I was going to be upset. I was like, "What the hell is going? Why is he telling us this right now?"
But
that's funny.
Oh dear.
Don't worry, Sean.
Actually,
I haven't spoken down to you today yet.
You have.
Sean.
You have.
Is this the guy that's always waiting?
You already have.
What? By going to the toilet?
No. What the fuck? You're a weird man. What's wrong with you?
I haven't even lifted you up by saying you were right.
You don't need to. I know I am. I need some gratification. Fuck you. I know I'm right.
I don't want anyone to interrupt my status as the weirdest person here. Okay, so
no.
Remember.
Trust me.
Well, I think no
one will forget the comment you made earlier when Q was telling me what a dog whistle was. So don't worry, you win.
Good.
I just want on a level of 1 to 10, I want to be a good creepy.
Actually, speaking of creepy, having heard Sean talking to Chris Roman numerals, going, "Do you want the screenshots of the 14 people that messaged me about you being a dick?"
My favorite part with arguing with Chris is that Chris knows this. He has very bad moments in Discord history. There are times you should not be on Discord, and Chris holds a lot of those moments. So when we were arguing, and I brought up those uploads of the debate me and him had when I was a flatter, or I was a truther, to be honest with you at the time, even said I was then. I'm like, Chris, I have the upload to prove to you we weren't talking flat Earth. We were talking about science, and then we just started doing topic jumping. And he goes, no, I have an upload. He goes, I did not give you consent to upload that. I'm like, what the fuck? You had that conversation in Discord with people listening. Why can't I upload it? I may have been fucked up. Chris, you're fucked up all the time. Oh, it was so ridiculous. And then he sits there and argues a point that he doesn't even remember.
Yeah, I had a horrible conversation with him a few days ago about why I can't have fentanyl as a pain patch because it affects me differently to other people. And he goes, oh, but it only affects these receptors, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, you're not listening. It affects me differently to everybody else.
Yep. That's how
I can't have it.
That's how it's different but the same. So like,
Yeah.
Ritalin and Adderall hypes people up, keeps them up and all that shit. Well, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I am one of the select few that actually did have it. So when I take stimulants like that, I literally just chill the fuck out and get all zombie-like, I call it.
And you got other kids who take Ritalin and go off the bloody rails.
Yeah.
I got lucky. My dad took me off of Ritalin when I was real young, and we just had to figure out how to teach me shit and get all that energy out. That's what it's really about.
Ritalin is a gateway to methamphetamine.
No, it's not. I don't see how. It made me feel like a zombie. I fell asleep every time I used to have to take it. I got put this way, in second grade, I was at a private school, and my parents sued the school because the nuns, they literally doubled my dose to calm me down. And when my parents came to pick me up, I was passed out on the desk.
Okay, now.
Yep. 2 years after that, my dad was like, I'm fucking done with this shit. And he took me off of it, and we started doing a lot more stuff. That's like when we started doing a lot more camping and survival, learning to survive, like off-grid living type stuff, and going to work. It was like, just kept me busy doing sports and shit. That's how you deal with that shit, not medication. I'm a true advocate of it, of that method, because I lived through it. I did it. I had to. My dad helped me do it.
This is what happened with me. One day, I think my son might have been in third grade, maybe. And his third grade teacher came up to me after school in the courtyard and told me that my son may require medication for his behavior. This is what she freaking said.
That's
and I was like, excuse me.
What about a recommendation?
As a teacher, you're not qualified to recommend medication for my child. So you're very out of line. And she got all offended. And I'm like, why are you offended? You know what I mean? I'm offended.
Yeah, because that was the time. That was around the time.
And then, no, wait, I'm not done.
Shift.
Because I'm not done.
Okay.
She said to me that she tells all of her mothers this, and nobody else gets offended by it.
That was the time when it was like
I said,
this.
so you're going around telling all these women that their children need medication.
So all your kids in her class need to be medicated for their behavior.
No, because this is what happened.
I was like, is this woman qualified to teach?
You remember the push? So it was like this. It was parents have to be involved with their kids, right? Remember that push?
No, this is what I did. I got to tell you what I did.
Well,
besides just being astonished,
I'll forget this, but I'll forget it if I don't say this. It got shifted from the parents' fault to the teachers, and when everyone went, what are the teachers doing to help the kids? The teachers went, medication.
No, this lady said this stuff to me, and I said, that's all ridiculous. She's not qualified. She shouldn't be saying things like that to parents. That's not her job. If there's some behavior specifically that she would like to talk to me about or tell me about, that's what she can do. But otherwise, all this other nonsense is just making her look bad. And she didn't like any of it, right? So I took my kid to one of them therapy people. And I said, look, I want you to test my kid for this ADHD shit. Okay. So she tested my kid. She said, your kid doesn't have ADHD. So then I took that paper, and I went and I made a meeting with the principal and the teacher. And I told the principal that the teacher shouldn't be making these recommendations because here she is, proof she's not qualified. She said, my kid should be on drugs and here he's not supposed to be. That's what I did. Okay. Was it boring?
No.
Your teachers.
You're a good mom.
It pissed me
It's
off.
amazing when you can prove an idiot wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, she had no place recommending medication. She's not a doctor. She's not, any kind of credentialed person to make that recommendation.
Yeah, tell me what kind of behavior he's exhibiting, and I will work on him to control that behavior.
I will lock him under the closet, beat him with a turkey leg.
That's not how you control behavior.
Oh, okay, okay.
If she's literally recommending that every student in her class be
No, they used to be big.
Maybe she's the constant in this, equation that's causing the problem.
Yeah, you think.
A lot of different ways of saying that ran through my head, but none of them were appropriate to come out of my mouth.
Fair.
Yeah.
But I did bring two other mothers into it and asked them that had kids in her class and asked them if she had said something like this to them. And they had said they had. And I said, did you know she's not allowed to do that? And they said they didn't know. And they both gave her looks. And she was like, oh, I can't remember if she's a teacher who tried to get my son changed from her class or not. I can't even remember what her name was.
That's weird too. I when I was in school, I don't remember ever being able to change classes because I didn't like a teacher. Nowadays,
the teacher didn't like me, so she wanted my kid to go to somebody else. Third grade.
I see.
Second grade. Maybe it was second grade.
Sean G. I see Gleam has joined the panel.
Mic check 1. Hello. Mic check 1. No.
Yeah, we're here. What's up, Gleam? How you doing, sir?
Yeah, bless up. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. You were having such a good conversation. I was cracking up. I've got the same thing happening with mine, and they went down the ADHD route with my son, and literally went in for a meeting. We give him some home incentives. Literally, he's now top of the class, getting teachers' awards, everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. Once we figured out a schedule, a method, I started getting straight A's. It pissed teachers off that used to know me, that I grew up like in middle school, that I'd known all throughout. It pissed them off because instead of that medication they thought it was going to work, somehow my parents figured out a method to teaching me. So I understood it.
That's it. It's much better. I've always hated going down that route because it's as if it's a kind of like an easy route. Yep. When you haven't tried everything, you just go, okay, yeah, put them on medication, and that's that's the worst.
And the biggest problem is F the parents that look at their children and say, my kid looks like a zombie. They're not motivated. Imagine what the kid feels like. That's the problem. That's the real serious problem. Because the I remember, I'm 38 years old, and it was a long time ago, 30 years ago. I remember the feeling of just feeling like I'm good here. I feel I'm like a statue. Let's chill. I remember that the need, the want to not do anything when I was on medication. It just felt pointless.
See, I'm from a generation where it was just beaten out of you. My schools, you could legally beat students.
Yeah, when I went to private school, they used to do the ruler on the hand thing. But
we had the strap.
Yeah, I only went to one
piece
school.
Of leather.
I went to one school where there was a nun she would hit you.
Yeah, nuns love to smack kids with rulers. It's fucking weird. Cause I went to
the edge of the
private
ruler
school,
across the
Christian private
knuckles.
school. Huh?
I went to that school. There's a pretty fucked up story.
Corporal punishment time.
Oh, that school that I told you a little while ago, the nuns that drugged me, then doubled my dose. That was at a private school. That was I was in second grade. Yeah, they fucked me up. My parents sued them.
Have some of that. Good.
Yeah.
Seriously, some institutes, and you can understand in some way that things start to get run like a business, if you know that, and then you, instead of being a patient, you're just a number. And it's exactly the same worldwide. Everyone that gets privatized or something like that, it's just you're a number.
What scares me is that they like Ritalin. What's up?
Was that a parochial school, like a Catholic?
Yeah.
High school.
No, it was elementary school, but yeah, it was private.
Okay.
Yeah, Catholic. Yeah.
Just because it's elementary doesn't mean it's not Catholic.
No, I was just specifying like what it was and when it was. But yeah, all the teachers were nuns. We used to go to the thing in the morning. I don't even remember any of it. I think so. Where you go in the little church area in the morning, like Pledge of Allegiance style. Yeah, I remember that.
I pledge allegiance to my imaginary friend.
I don't remember anything that was said or taught there. I just remember blurb because like
don't pledge allegiance.
I know you don't pledge allegiance, but in what I remember because in the what happens is in the morning. In the morning, you would stand in line. You would go like all your classes, and then you would end up going over to the little church, little quarters that they have right next to all the classes. You would sit in there for like 20, 30 minutes, and then you would go to class every morning. I remember that. It was at St. Columbo in San Diego.
When I went to a private school like that, we didn't go to church every day. We only went.
We don't go every day.
I did.
Once a week.
No, I went every day, including Sunday.
We just had to say the pledge, and then we had to say prayers, and then we started class. And then we went to mass once a week.
No, mine was a full half hour every morning. Every morning.
Ours was normally like every Tuesday. We would have a mass, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on what the theme of the week was.
Well, it's based on the order that runs it, right?
Yeah, well, we were Christian Brother Colleges affiliated.
In 8th grade, this weird thing started happening to me where for some reason, every time I would have to sit through a mass, I would faint. Whether I was standing or sitting.
Weren't you
it
saying?
Didn't matter. If I was standing or sitting, I would just pass out.
Is this the same time as like behind it? Yeah, but is this the same time when you were going to the doctors and they were making you pass out or some shit like or the seizure thing? Is it the same?
No, it's wooden benches. I bet it's a wooden bench. And
no,
what it does
was just like this weird, like time, like for a couple of months, that if I sat or stood in the freaking church for like more than like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I would faint, and I wouldn't even know why.
Sure, it wasn't narcolepsy.
No, I don't know what it was.
You'd be listening to the preacher, and you just
wouldn't happen to me anywhere else.
Hey, look,
it wasn't anywhere else that I could go be in, and then always faint.
Watching How to Make an American Quilt, so I don't know how the rest of that movie goes, but the first minute and a half puts me right to sleep. Every time.
Oh, you mean the credits?
Yes, the opening credits of How to Make an American Quilt. I don't know anything about the movie other than the first minute and a half, the credits.
Isn't that like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants? Isn't that a similar story?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've never seen the movie.
Well, no, because I remember.
God, you guys,
I understand
you guys must be old because when that movie came out, I was still a teenager, and I know because never mind, but. Yeah.
When it came out.
It's only 5 years older than you.
Much younger than us.
Isn't it? Only 5 years in between us all.
I don't think so.
Anyone else, but I don't think this conversation is weird for me.
Yeah, well, I
you know what I think?
I turned 44 on Wednesday, Sean. Right.
You want to know what the reason is why I think I was passing out, though? Because I feel like I was having the compassion of Christ or something. Like it was all like about this crucifix, dude. Because I would just like not want to look at it because it was so like appalling, you know, this man on a stick bleeding all over the place, and I would always go into the church and I would be like, "Don't look at the crucifix," you know, and then I would just think about it and I would just faint every fucking time.
I have an ulterior I have an ulterior idea. Is the fact that Satan
like a little
came
kid. Why are
into
you
you
guys-
and said, "Don't look at that bastard. Have a sleep."
I think that we should not have Christ hanging on sticks if he resurrected.
That's the funny thing. Yeah, the
not
biggest
gonna want to
symbol
see
of the
that.
Christian faith is a guy being crucified.
And then we're gonna eat him for 2,000 years.
Yeah,
Bring out the crackers.
Why isn't he like sitting on a nice chair in front of a fireplace or some shit?
You know,
Opens
when I
like
was doing-
walking
when
with
I
some
was
people,
doing,
or
Symbolism for sacrifice.
when I was
No,
doing,
but that's the thing.
It's brutal, dude.
It wasn't a
when I was
sacrifice.
doing
It was a
science
bloody punishment.
projects.
No, it was a punishment.
Can I say when I was doing science projects in schools?
Wait, you know how to do science, John?
Obviously not. Shut up.
Oh.
No, I do science workshops in usually in primary schools or with outreach with one of the Royal Observatories. And
So you have a
if
lathe for your science?
If you go to like a faith school in Scotland, a Catholic school, you do have like really quite not a sort of figurative kind of sculpture type image thing of Christ on the cross, but like a really realistic man bleeding on a cross, on a wooden cross on the wall. And it's weird. You know, if you're, I mean, it's not weird for the people who are used to it, but for an incomer that is not used to that kind of thing, it's gee, you've got a bleeding man being
displayed,
executed, basically. Here's the thing.
On the wall.
Well, the main thing is what I saw is the way the church handled it was to also kind of instill a little bit of fear, and I think having him on a cross kind of instills the this could happen to you, but idea of it.
Yeah, well, here's the worst thing. Okay, so in most churches, you'll find the Stations of the Cross on the lead light windows, right? Yes. And it starts with him getting persecuted by Pontius and the guards and all that. And then you see him getting kicked and beaten after he's had his crown of thorns put on and he's bleeding, carrying the cross. And then you see one of them, you actually see them nailing him to the cross.
Do you skip the part where they make him drag the cross on his back and they throw stones at him and he falls, and then what's his face comes over and helps him carry the cross?
Yeah, but this is not a sacrifice by him.
I thought Jim Caviezel really sold that one.
No, that was a terrible movie.
I think you've got to admit, though.
If you couldn't hear the sarcasm in my delivery,
you've got to admit, though, it is the longest running marketing campaign that has worked, and literally is the most known logo around the world.
Everybody loves.
Doesn't mean it's true, though, does it?
No, not
everybody loves.
I'm anti-religious.
I'd say the Star of David is more. I think the Star of David is probably more known.
Following on from what I said there, I went round. I did the last time I did it. I did this science workshop in. I did it 110 times. The same workshop. It's about electricity.
It's okay. It's okay, John. It's okay. We understand it. Sometimes it takes some people longer to understand simple things.
It's because we're Scottish.
I understand what you're saying, because you went and done several 108 different sessions.
Yeah,
all different days. Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. I wanted to highlight that. So yeah, he was thinking you was just teaching the same people 108 times. No. I know what you were on about.
That's what
I've done workshops.
That's what I assumed, because I see John as very simple. and I feel the need to get that out there.
And get you, Sean, and you don't know when, you don't know where. I'm going to get you.
I just want to help you leave.
Anyway,
I just want to help you leave flat Earth.
You fucking Anyway, so but my point was, if I'm allowed to make it, Sean, if that's at all possible.
Wait, what?
We went to a lot of faith schools, Catholic schools, and it was really obvious that the kids were, in a word, kind of frozen.
Oh yeah,
we the whole kind of the whole thing about the science workshop was kind of getting the kids involved, getting them enthused about what we're doing, and eliciting a sort of reaction from them to what we're doing, and just tumbleweed with a lot of these kids in faith schools. I'm like, shit. These kids are from a young age are taught to just sit down and shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, big time.
And that's about it.
It is
really sad to observe.
Yeah, they don't give any, like, the whole free speech, blah blah blah, whatever that means. Yeah, in private school, oh no, they don't care. They don't care about your opinion. They don't care at all. Damn, I was gonna say. Fuck.
Well, yeah, that's the dogma. I mean, that's the rigid part that makes people not question authority and, the establishment, the law. And I find that ironic, that's what people who believe in science or scientific method, get accused of all the time.
Okay, so I have a question, and I kind of just started thinking about it, so it may be an obvious answer, but if we're looking at it from a truly scientific standpoint, is it of no care to science of God, or is it literally this atheists looking for reasons to say science doesn't believe in a God?
Science doesn't care. Science doesn't care.
Yeah.
Well,
so the argument
if God isn't a good explanation of as a mechanism for something, I don't see how science can really weigh in on it.
Well, realistically, science can weigh in on everything. But my main question would have been, that science doesn't disprove a God at all.
Right. Well, what's the God hypothesis?
It doesn't need to be.
Question.
Yeah,
scientists, astronomers, cosmologists don't lie awake at night thinking, how can I disprove the existence of God? They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's
all they want to do. All they want to do is find the truth. What does this data mean? What's that data mean? God is completely irrelevant.
They probably just want to do their job and get paid like everybody else.
Yeah, so that whole argument that science, or that the whole God and science battle, blah blah blah, realistic is probably a more pointless argument than anything.
I feel like atheists are like bitter because I don't know what they expect from God, and they think they're not getting it, so they go, well, God doesn't exist because it's illogical. And then they have these certain people who've come up with sort of arguments for things that are in the Bible or moral dilemmas that they can nitpick out of the Bible, and they think that's proof of not a God, but it's really not.
I really don't see the difference between either of them. I don't see how believing there's a God could disprove science. I don't see how believing in science could disprove a God at all.
Yeah, to me, they're not exclusive.
Synonymous. Yeah.
I think they're the same thing, but just describing it with using different labels. So when put it this way, religion doesn't go as far in on it as science, albeit religion is involved in science still today. but different labels like God
Well,
would be
here's the
just
thing.
energy.
Here's the thing. You don't even know. You don't even know because everybody will say, "Oh, the books of the Bible are changed. Oh, the Vatican's got books it never releases." You don't know what's in those books. Maybe Abagenesis is in those books. You don't know.
Yeah, no, nobody knows. Definitely, I agree
Yeah,
with
but
that.
I
Nobody
think
knows.
I would put
the
good
honest
money
thing
on
to say.
abiogenesis not being in one of those books.
You don't think Abiogenesis is in a Vatican book?
Not in like a biblical book that got edited out because it had abiogenesis in it.
Not edited out,
Mm.
just never. It's kept in a vault. The
Right.
secrets.
I mean,
It's like
you were
it's like the
implying
apples from the
that it
tree.
was you were
No,
implying
they're
that it was
saying that the
removed
apples
from the
from the
Bible
tree.
or not included in the Bible or something.
Well, yeah, the Vatican claims to have lots of books that are old books that are secret books. People know about it. Books from the Bible that aren't in the Bible.
What the Vatican has, which is widely thought the Vatican has, is the books that could have been put into the Bible, but were decided not. They weren't with the message that they wanted to include at the time when it was finalized in about 400 AD.
Yeah, but they really should
a lot
be.
of
They
those
really
a
should
lot
be
of those
censoring God.
scrolls were found at a lot of those scrolls were found at Nag Hammadi, weren't they?
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well,
they were
the
where we get
was
a
it
lot
the Gospel of Timothy? I think.
Right.
According to
all I'm saying is that like you have a lot
scholars,
of
is the
contradictory
actual original words
accounts.
of Christ.
Yeah, but you also have a lot of
it's Michael.
contradictory accounts in there that got the reason why they weren't included in the doctrinal version of the Catholic Bible is because they didn't fit the narrative.
Yeah.
Conflicting narrative in there.
Yeah.
They also didn't want Jesus to have certain characteristics that would be considered weird
What, like
and
a wife?
outlandish. Or like killing kids when he's 12 years old, or he raised a bird from the dead as a miracle when he was like 12 in one of these accounts. I mean, these are obviously fish stories that just grew
Sounds like
with
the stories of
time.
Anakin Skywalker.
They're just fish stories. It's all they are. I mean, it'd be like if 200 years from now, a group of our children were recounting the stories of, say, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and they got the two guys kind of mixed up together, and the stories got garbled because they were orally handed down after they both died, and so the two men get conflated into one, and these two storylines, these two competing narratives, don't make a lot of sense when you look at them side by side. Unless they're two men, two separate men. And so Jesus was probably two men, and they both lived, sort of close together. And then
So which one was resurrecting birds?
Well, neither one of them.
The Tesla version. He loved pigeons.
No, I really want to tell me.
Okay, so these were stories that pre-existed Jesus by 200 or 300 years. There was this big, long Hellenic Messianic period in like Syria, Judea, Turkey, all these areas that were under Greek influence for like 300 years. So the Greek philosophers heavily influenced this Near Eastern, dualistic kind of cult of what was it, Ahura Mazda, and these other Eastern religions kind of were filtering in at these crossroads. And so this areas where all these world beliefs and philosophies met up and competed in the marketplace of ideas. And the Greeks were really good about letting that conversation happen. And then when the Romans showed up, it was a pretty explosive time in that area because there were a lot of apocalyptic cults going on simultaneously because they weren't allowed to practice their form of worship the way that the rabbis had said they were supposed to be able to practice their form of worship. And so when the Romans came in and tore the place down, they had to kind of reboot their whole religion. It got fragmented and fractured, and the people were dispersed in lots of different areas. And that's why the stories kind of had to be handed down orally for a while, and then they changed with the telling, and they just grew and grew and grew until somebody wrote them down for propaganda purposes, and that's basically what Christianity is.
I will big you up for that. I'll big you up for that, though. Sorry, John. Can I just big him up for that? Because that is exactly what I've read, and you explained it perfectly to a T. Nice one, No Name. Big up for that.
That is pretty much what happened. But the added to that is the fact that the whole nativity, in particular, was a staple of of religion before then. You still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just realized I bumped all over the place there for about 5 minutes.
The whole thing, you know, the Messiah being born of a virgin, all the key parts of the nativity and much of the New Testament is lifted straight from pre-existing religions, which predate Christianity by hundreds or thousands of years, and they had to conform to this for it to be an accepted religion. If they invented something completely new, no one would have taken to it. You know,
it's the method.
It kind of superimposed itself on top of something that was really pagan, and paganism was systematically then stamped out. You know, churches were built on top of pagan temples. And well, I mean, correctly, Easter was superimposed on top of the spring solstice. Christmas was superimposed on the with the spring solstice.
Yeah, it's weird how this religion came in, it put all the focus on like this white guy suffering, and took all the focus off the earth. And here we find ourselves precarious in a world of like people looking at their phones and pollution, because our focus isn't on our actual environment; it's on our manufactured environment.
You know what it is? It's exactly that. It's a play on imagination. So to basically say, look, there is someone who has died for you, instantly adds a guilt process. And if you're told that as a child, you're going to believe that as an adult.
But where should our imagination be sort of aimed towards, Liam? What do you reckon?
In where? In turds?
Where should our imagination be geared towards? What should be the purpose of our sort of endeavor?
Yeah, big up
It's,
anyway.
it is Pete and Pete Trichet steer it as so. Hey Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, so getting back to
where should we steer our endeavors towards, our mental endeavors?
Okay.
Oh, Pete, no, I figured out the conspiracy, man. You're Patricia Steer. I got it. I cracked the code. You're a mad genius, sir.
Well, listen, I figured it out in a nutshell. Let me tell all of you, I figured it out on more than one front, but one of the big fronts is that they have separated, let me just say quickly, they have separated the universe to, well, a universal degree, right? They've made all of the heavenly bodies separated by the ultimate distance, the unimaginable distances. Whereas in actual fact, hang on please, let me just finish, whereas in actual fact, hang on please, whereas in actual fact, everything is inverted, of course, and all of the heavenly bodies are on a singular plane as they move around the flat Earth. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that a wonderful realization?
Can I answer the question,
Pete?
Yeah, can I answer the question in the way of imagination? I think the limit of it's all time based. So the limit of our imaginations now is, and I don't know the exact limit or anything like this, but let's say will be a reality in 100, 500 years. Because if you can imagine, way back in the Dark Ages, people would be dreaming of, we'll be flying through the sky, we'll be looking at people on thing. I reckon so. And then that would have been the limit. because it takes imagination. Put it this way: it takes imagination in order to think up something like a device.
You assume
know
the
what I mean?
Dark Ages exist, right, Liam? Is this the half of the brain that tells you that the Earth
No.
and its evolutionary process is real?
I have a big argument for what Gleam said. First of all, if before somebody had the vision to make a plane, nobody would have thought humans could fly except for the person who had the idea to make a plane. And the fact that every human being wasn't trying to make a plane means that it's an outlier. It's not a thing that humans may have always done or that humans altogether were dreaming about. It's probably most likely something that most humans weren't thinking about because they didn't actually have the leisure time for shit like that.
I mean, come on.
Just to clarify,
people would have been dreaming of angels with wings.
Can you, Gleam,
All right,
you
let me just say
talking
the
about
cute. Do you know what a
creative
carpenter's plane is?
visualization? Are you talking about?
They dreamed of angels with wings because they knew there was no gravity in space.
If we wish for something hard enough, there's actually going to happen.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
not in as quick and short term as that. It's more of a long term thing, and in as much as at that time of the Wright brothers inventing the plane and whatnot and getting it to fly, yeah, that was the limit of all of mankind's imagination. Do you understand that? In as much as that was a revolution.
No, I disagree.
In man's imagination.
Where is mankind's knowing at now, Gleam? You see, you're on the fence, right? Because the borders could be correct, or the flat earthers could be correct, even though you're leaning towards the flat earthers, right? But where is mankind thinking now? And what makes you assume, when you talk about this sort of evolution in thinking about the Dark Ages, for instance, or the Wright brothers, what makes you assume that you can sort of relate to the reality of those times or eras that your imagination has sort of conjured up or pieced together according to the story told, right?
Well, it's a story told, and I can't confirm anything before my birth, but in my lifetime, I've experienced the
Can't
development.
confirm most things after your birth, dude.
Yeah, but either way, I've seen the development of technology. I've witnessed it. I've played with it. You know, so I understand that man's imagination has made this technology get better. So
All we've done is make TV smaller. Then we made them bigger. Then we made them smaller again.
Not just that. Man's achievements now were completely different 400 years ago.
Yeah, but hang on, Gleam. As flat earthers, we would say science has taken an absolute massive downhill slide downwards, right? Because everything that the ball earthers believe, from a flat earther's point of view, pretty much everything, right, is untrue. So where are we coming from is the ultimate question. And ultimately, you can't afford to sit in the fence because whatever the shape of the earth, whatever the nature of the earth, it all comes back to you, the experiencer, right? The perceiver. So it comes back to the nature of you. And now if you place yourself definitively in the evolutionary model,
PBB feels as though he has
last sentence, Q, that takes you to a fundamentally different place than if you decided that, well, you are on some sort of a level stationary plane to begin with, right? And I hope you understand what I'm saying there, right?
Well, I see it more as in order for computers to develop, for all this phone technology to develop, we didn't care about the shape of the Earth. That wasn't involved in it. Okay, so that was small scale. That was us understanding electricity, so on. And
we again.
I don't think.
True.
I think, right, we could now, right, let's say it could be either or a flat earth or a globe. And I know globers are going to go, no, it can't be a flat earth. Flat earthers are going to go, no, it can't be a globe.
The guy who invented the light bulb didn't know what the shape of the earth was.
No, but it's not knowing what the shape of the earth was.
Yeah,
it's what effect. No, wait there. Hang on. It's saying what effect does that even have on that device being invented or imagined up?
A lot.
It doesn't. It has no effect on it. Come on. The radius of Earth has no effect on a MEMS chip.
Look, I can't tell you how off everything in the world would be if it began with a lie like the flat Earth. But I'm telling you,
it did begin with.
It would be off.
Are you mad? Are you mad? All of this science started with the flat Earth. Come on. That was our first recording.
That's not true.
I don't like to
misconception that flat earthers have.
I don't like to admit it, but I kind of agree with you, Gleam.
Well, I say that at the end of the day, it can be either or. There is only going to be a finite things that will differentiate each model, and it's going to be things like gravity and curvature. They're the only two.
Well, there are such things as the GPS network and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I mean, as far as it goes with just the advance of human technology, cars, engineering.
Well, that involves you, John, thinking about other
That doesn't,
possibilities to describe
just
these
hang on,
things.
hang on. All these
Okay.
things could take place regardless of the shape of the Earth, and that's correct. It doesn't really matter what the shape of the Earth is.
But what
But
about old
one thing,
technology like sundials?
well, yeah,
It
but
depends on the
that's what I'm saying.
foundation.
If
That can only be one shape.
if you don't stop and you include the GPS positioning network, then that's a different story.
I'm just talking
Then
about sticks in the
that
ground,
certainly
man.
does.
Doesn't require any high tech knowledge.
Yeah, that's not critical thinking, man. And John, you have to think
I
about
do have a
other
counter.
possibilities. If satellites are a reality, or at least the effects of what we perceive to be satellites are a reality, is there another possible explanation as to what's going on? Now, I know if I ask you,
No.
have you considered flat Earth seriously? You will go,
Yes, I have.
well, I have. I've looked at everything, and there's not one good, decent piece of evidence for it. And we know that that's bullshit. We know that that's absolutely bullshit.
You don't know
No, it's
that that's
not.
my position.
No, it's bullshit, because I know that there's never any scientific proof offered that the Earth moves one iota beneath us, and we know it doesn't. Right now, something
there
does
is.
move. Let me just
What
ask you
about
my
earthquake,
question.
Pete? What about earthquake?
Well, I'm not on mass. I'm talking
What
about, you know,
happens when there's an earthquake? Is that the Earth moving or not?
Sure, but you know, I'm
Thanks,
talking
Pete.
about in general sense, right? A macro sense. Now, my
I just want
question
to
would
make
be,
sure I know where you're coming from, dude.
yeah, you know
So
well
it's,
enough. You know better than probably most people where I'm coming from, right, Q? So if the Earth doesn't move, right, we know something does move. We know something does move as we're trying to observe and discern the nature of reality. So we have decided if the Earth moves, then everything else stems from that. But have you considered if the Earth does not move, John? And if not, well, where's your true scientific sort of sense of skepticism, endeavor, etc.? Because it's a very viable proposition and a very sort of hot topic as well.
I can tell you, if you like.
Lovely.
Right now, I am sorting through data to triangulate the distance of the moon from not from data from observatories, but from data that's been given by amateur astronomers like me. Okay, so not from NASA, not from any kind of government institution or anything like that, but from amateur astronomers all over the world who just through a happenstance managed to take an image, all of them, at exactly the same time of the moon.
Excellent.
Right, so this means that we can actually triangulate the moon, given our distance between each other. And
Absolutely false. On the first conclusion, you're wrong, because first of all, you've decided what the moon is, right? You've decided that solid body
It doesn't matter what the moon
trigonometry.
is.
You've decided that solid body trigonometry applies.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the moon is. It doesn't matter what.
Have you decided that solid?
It's just a point.
Have you
It's just
decided
a
that
point
solid
in the
body?
triangle, Pete. It's just a point in the triangle.
Hang on, please. This is solid body trigonometry.
It's just an
Do you know what
angle
that is,
in a
John?
triangle, Pete. That's what he decided it was.
You know
He
what
decided it was
solid
an
body
angle in a triangle.
trigonometry is?
No,
For goodness sake.
no, Pete.
For goodness
Stop.
sake, do you know what solid body trigonometry is?
Pete, stop. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what the moon is. It's something in the sky, right? Which can be triangulated by different observers from different locations on the Earth. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is.
Hang on. Can we triangulate it using solid body triangulation?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Well, okay, so you've assumed that the moon is a solid body. Have you also,
Pete,
let me finish my sentence. Have you also considered the alternative that the moon might be a reflection? Excuse me, man. Let me get my sentence out of my objection to your. You're using solid body.
You don't know that the moon is thick.
That's a genuine question, and as any sort of scientific mind will tell you, it's a valid question.
Is it?
Yes, because you've invoked something else outside of the Earth to try and prove something about the Earth.
Frogmen have walked
Pete,
on it.
listen,
It's solid.
Pete, listen. For centuries, very.
You're invoking history, not a hearsay.
Just be quiet. for centuries, people have been using celestial navigation to get places and verify their position in the open sea when there's no landmark. It works.
Thing is moving for sure.
It is a solid, dependable way to
I agree.
determine
Something
where you
is
are.
moving.
Right.
Something is moving around Polaris, right?
Yeah. So the celestial sphere, it is something that we know, and it is dependable, doesn't move. But the thing
we're trying
is,
to prove this.
But no, that's not what we're trying to prove.
We're bringing another thing into things. You notice the celestial sphere. So celestes, what is a star?
Pete,
so you're bringing other variables in.
Don't start gish galloping and trying to divert.
Gish galloping. I'm pulling you up at every hand's turn.
We know that the stars are fixed points that rotate 15 degrees an hour. We have known this for a very, very long time, right?
Earth isn't moving, then all the stars are moving in unison.
And the point is, you're trying to censor me, which says more about you than it does about me.
He thinks the stars.
Let me respond though in time.
No, I haven't. Well, you can respond when I'm finished, Pete.
Okay.
Right. So when we look at the moon from different locations on Earth at exactly the same time, we see the moon in a different place relative to the background stars. And we can make a triangulation using that data to determine how far away the moon is. And when we do that, without fail, it shows that the moon is 250,000 miles away.
Okay. So what? You just tell me everything I knew already, right? No contact. One. Should call it a knockdown. But all these years, after all, channel Q. After all these years,
what I'm telling you, what you're listening to, is someone that has actually done it, Pete.
So okay, John. Let me ask you this question then.
You're not hearing it from NASA. You're not hearing it from a government institution. You're hearing it from somebody who's actually done it.
So all we have to do is
what's the explanation for that? Then?
Okay, John, take it easy. All we have to do is go out and observe. Then I don't deny that any individual is capable of making an observation and a determination regarding a relative angle to what looks to be the moon, and you point the center of the moon if you're going to take the center of mass, right? Now,
no, that's not
fair
how
enough.
It's done.
No, but whatever way it's done, right? It has to be a sort of a fixed, agreed upon standard that you're going to make the measurement via.
No.
You have to hang on, John, please.
No, if you're saying that, you haven't listened. You haven't understood how it was done.
If you have looked at, excuse me, if you're, let's say me and you, I'm in Ireland here, and you're in. I'll take you're in Scotland, right? Right. Wherever you are, let's imagine we arranged to look at the moon. We knew it was going to be in our sky at the same time. Now, in order to take any necessary measurements, we have to go out and point it at something. What are we going to point it at? Well, the moon. So where are we going to point it at the moon? We'll agree to either point it at the eastern or westernmost side of the most I guess perpendicular diameter to us, right? If you know what I mean, right? Or else we'd have to agree on some other standard, either the very center, some central crater. Hang on, please. This is what we're measuring, right? You have to measure something in some way.
That's not what you're describing is not what was measured. It's not what I was talking about.
Triangulated the moon from. You said there was a few different people simultaneously noting the location of the moon. Is that correct?
No.
Okay, I apologize then. I'm sorry.
So, right, listen. So, when you look at the moon, especially during an eclipse, which is the best time because the moon is dim, if you take a picture of it, you can see the background stars behind it, right? Now, if different observers in different geographical locations also take a picture of the moon at exactly the same time, the moon will not be in the same location next to the background stars in the sky. Okay.
Now, the background stars. You mentioned eclipse of the moon. You mentioned triangulation before. And I was asking you which point to hone in on when everyone is triangulating the position of the moon.
Apply yourself. Try and apply yourself and actually listen to what I'm saying.
Listening to you, but you're bringing up something different in regards to an eclipse of the moon, the background stars. You don't know where I'm coming from, you see.
Right. I'm just saying the best time to make this observation is during an eclipse because the moon is dim. You can do it at other times.
What's your ultimate point here?
You can do it. I'm trying to get there if you would stop interrupting. You can also do it when there's a conjunction of a particularly bright star with the moon.
Calculating
to make it easier. But the measurement, what you're attempting to do by taking a picture of the moon with the background stars with multiple observers is measuring the difference in the location of the moon relative to the background stars.
Okay.
Right? You're not. It's not a question of measuring the altitude and azimuth of the moon. It's measuring the difference in the location of the moon relative to the background stars. Do you understand that?
I do absolutely. So this all comes back to about the Earth's movement or not, right? So now you're after invoking two different separate things, right? Distinct things. First of all, the moon, right, and then the background stars. Now, have you defined those in clear, certain, indisputable terms? Have you done that?
What they are, you mean?
Yes. Or do you assume that? Or you just go along with what the story is? Because if you're going to say, I'm going to go along with the story is and the stars are what they tell us, well, then you have to go through the history and how that was determined to be the case. Because that's only a relatively recent sort of endeavor, right? When it's when Hubble especially came along.
This is completely, it's not even tertiary to the argument. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter what the stars are. It doesn't matter what the moon is.
You're applying solid body trigonometry to it, bud. What's wrong with you?
No, Pete. No.
Have you ever heard of an observer-dependent reflection? You know when you're at the beach. You know when you're at the beach at one end looking at the sun. Hang on, John. You know when you're at the beach at one end looking at the sunset, and I'm at the other end of the beach looking at the sunset, and I'll swear on your mother's leg that ray of light is coming from the sun to my feet. I see no ray of light coming to your feet. That's an observer-dependent reflection.
Right, Pete. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, if we're doing a triangulation to determine distance, the object that we're determining the distance to, we don't need to know what it is, do we? We don't.
Of course.
Right?
You just said the object. We're determining the distance. You've decided it's an object.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious, Pete. That's great.
It's funny because you said you don't need to know what it is, but you've decided it's an object, a material thing. You don't see the contradiction there, John.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, we don't need to know anything about the object. We just need to determine the parallax.
Know what an object is? Do you know what an object is defined as?
Excuse me. To determine the distance to an object using the laws of perspective, we need to know the distance between the. Fucking hell, you can't help yourself, can you?
Well, don't worry. What's an object? Just clarify. What's an object?
The distance between the two observers and the angle of parallax, and that's it. That's all we need to know.
It's an object.
We don't need to determine the ethereal nature of the.
John, he said an object. I'm asking him what is an object?
We don't need to know if it was whispered into existence by God.
Oh, you said it was an object. What is an object, John?
We don't need to know anything.
What is an object?
A source of light.
Let him talk, Pete.
But he won't answer the question. What is an object?
Pete,
Sean, can you bring up the definition of object? Hang on, please. Pete. Sean, can you bring up the definition of object in Wikipedia?
Fuck the definition of object, Pete.
Words don't matter then, right? Because you've already decided what the moon is. Is it an object or not an object?
An object is a material that can be seen and touched.
Thank you. A material that can be seen and touched. Shut the fuck up, John, and don't say it doesn't matter, because I'm saying that those lights in the sky are reflections. Observer dependent.
The moon has been seen and touched.
when
By who?
we
By you, Sean? By who?
when
When you
by
rise up with
astronauts.
your
Pete,
weather balloon and you take images of the moon, it shrinks in size. The stars tend to vanish.
Pete, listen to me. Pete,
They're all
listen.
reflections. Or at
Pete,
least,
listen.
if
Yes,
they're not
that's right.
reflections, you should consider if they are reflections.
Pete,
That's
you can't
right.
monologue.
They are reflections. Pete.
Yeah.
Everything that we see is light bouncing off something. That's all we've got, really.
Whether you have
Don't tell me that,
retinas
because
or
now
an
when you say
object.
what light is, you have to tell me what the sun is, and that's an object as well, right, John? Is the sun an object,
Yes.
John?
Oh,
Yes.
you're running away.
Is the sun an object, John?
Yes.
You know that.
And how do you know you can
that
touch the
I'm-
sun? How do you know you can?
How do you know you?
that
How
I'm
do you know
right
you
and
can't?
You're just trying to.
Pete, how do you know you
fucking
can't?
Dishonest cunt.
Can we at
But
least
I'm not
agree
saying
that
you're
the
saying
sun is a
definitively it's an
noun?
object. I'm saying there's a possibility.
Sorry.
It's not an object. It's a
Okay.
reflection.
I have a question, Pete. Have you touched your dome? Have you
Well, I
seen
touched
the
myself
dome?
during the weekend. I wasn't
That's-
happy afterwards. I said, no, you shouldn't have done it, bad boy.
It was Valentine's Day. Don't ask me that question.
Only Pete. Only
Valentine's
Pete.
Day is the
Only
14th
Pete.
of the second for a reason.
Only Pete can rate Pete. That's
Listen,
amazing.
Only stuff comes out of my asshole. Nothing goes in.
No, seriously, Pete. Okay, but Pete, think about that. Okay, have you touched or seen the dome that you think is there?
See, Sean, we're not living in a material-only universe. There's a different game in play here, and we can work out a lot of stuff
I
via our
understand.
mental
Hang on,
acuity,
Pete.
via our ability to
Hang
think.
on, man.
Einstein,
Hang
after
on.
all, worked out the universe
Hang on,
by
Pete.
riding on a light
Pete.
wave, right?
Pete, hang on. I said, the moon has been seen and touched. You said, has it been by me? To basically say that my argument is pointless because I haven't done it. Okay.
It's on the moon where Sean touched you.
Wait. You know what, Pete? I concede to that. Okay. But have you seen and or touched the dome you think is around the dome or whatever, or around the northern pole? Have you seen it? Have you touched? No. Wait.
No, I
so the
haven't.
answer is no. Okay.
No.
Okay. So any explanation that you've given or evidence you've given for it is just as null and void as what you said my argument for the moon was, right? Am I right though? So that means your argument is pointless.
Hang on, Sean. You're not right, because you and John here, and probably the rest of you, are involved in the scientific endeavor, right? Which is to view all sides. All I'm asking you to consider is when John talks about objects and material natures things. Well, that's fair enough. You can consider that, and what might that be? What might the implications be if that is the case? But you haven't considered the alternative, and one of the alternatives is that I'm saying all of the skylights are a possible reflection off of this barrier, this dome, as you call it, right? It's not a solid thing, by the way. The Earth breathes. But you haven't considered that even, Sean. So who puts that in a better situation? I considered everything you're suggesting.
Pete. Hang on. Of all the people on this panel right now, Pete, did you really say that I'm the one that doesn't objectively think about things like that? I was a flat earther. I did think about alternatives to everything. The problem is that I wanted the answer. I didn't want to ask 100 questions for 4 years. I wanted answers. My job was. That's the thing.
You had me on this show, right, for 3 hours, and I swear to God, I appreciate anyone who allows me to speak uncensored, and you definitely didn't censor me. Ranty doesn't do the same now, even though I've actually said to him on his show that I do hold that he's an actor playing a part, like I do hold you're an actor playing a part, Sean. But that's a different matter.
No. I'm on screen right now. I got my camera on, Pete. I'm good again.
Well, I appreciate that. I know you've been on camera before. That doesn't mean that you're not an actor playing a part, or doesn't mean that I am. I can put my camera on.
You're an actor playing the part.
Sean, as a flat earther then, but no one has talked about Aristarchus. I've been on talking personally to you and anyone else who was listening about Aristarchus. This idea that if the Earth is flat, you see, just taking it from that basic level, if the Earth is some sort of a stationary top that we're on top of and the water's all flat in it, well, what if after that point? Well, the implications are directly that, well, everything seems to move on a nightly, daily basis in unison. So whatever measurement you might get, it all depends on what you decide that these lights in the sky are. Now, if John is so sort of unsecure in a sense, they're objects, but it doesn't matter what you say they are, but then you might come to a certain you might come to a certain conclusion, and it might be true, but you haven't considered the alternative, so you'll never know, right?
Yeah, but that's not
dogmatic
true.
in some sense.
You know,
Why not?
that's not true. Just you can
I
can
tell you
say,
more than
oh,
anyone else. And
oh, you
Channel
haven't
2 knows this.
you haven't
I know more
you
about
haven't
the movement than
considered
anyone
the
else in this earth.
alternative. You
About
haven't
people who write
considered
the
the
story.
alternative. Shut the fuck up, Pete. You know what I'm doing right now when I'm talking about this measuring the distance to the moon through these observations. What I'm actually doing is trying to incorporate the measurement with a globe Earth and a flat Earth to see what the difference is. Right? I want to actually kind of try and accommodate both sides. I personally, I know what the answer is going to be.
John,
Shut
you've
the
used solid
fuck
body
up.
trigonometry. How
Solid
about
body
if it's a
trigonometry.
reflective light?
What are you talking about?
trigonometry
See, if your insistence on this
want the
solid
scientific mind to come out in you, the critical mind, man.
Listen.
I think more of you, my fellow
This
man.
insistence on the solid body trigonometry would completely and utterly invalidate celestial
Listen, every
navigation.
mathematical. Listen, I'm not an uneducated man, John.
Celestial navigation.
Right? I know that every
celestial navigation.
Listen,
57 major stars in the sky that mariners have used for centuries.
Yes, I know what they are.
We don't need to know whether or not they're physical.
Everything moves in unison. So
Bodies
if the Earth is still, then all of the stars are moving in unison.
Anything about them.
Hang on, please. So, John,
all we need to know
let's simplify
is
for
that there are
Sean's sake,
fixed
right?
points
We have
in
two
the
options,
sky
Sean.
that rotate at 15 degrees per hour, and that's
Right.
it.
So, okay,
Don't
John.
talk shit.
Okay, let me make this point. Okay, John, let me make this point, please. So we have two options, right? In the true scientific sense, everything has to be falsifiable, right? For our own benefit. Two options. Yeah, these are the basic two options. The Earth is a globe, and everything appears to move in unison, 15 degrees per hour, not because the background is moving itself, it's because the Earth is moving. And the other option is the Earth is relatively, in relation to the spinning ball, is a relatively flat surface that we're on top of. Whatever is beneath, that's a different matter, but relatively flat surface. And all of these skylights move in unison then. Now, what are your best arguments for both causes? Because you're after truth after all, John, right?
Yes.
What you after both cases? Well, have you considered both cases?
Yes.
Why? What rules out one and rules in the other completely, even after all this time and all this effort and all of these stupid flat earthers?
Are you genuinely asking me that question?
Oh, I'm facetiously asking you that question because I know the answer. It's a tough one. I told you no one can handle the dodo, John, because I'll hold you to a certain level of honest scientific inquiry. The scientific mind,
having a fucking laugh.
Wise mind will know that he knows nothing, right? At every point, if he can't answer a question, especially a basic question, he will have cause.
Are you seriously? Right? Are you actually asking me that question?
Go again.
Just to be completely and utterly.
I am. Have you considered both sides? So we have two. We have two paradigms here.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Hang on, please. The Earth is a sphere, and the background stars, for the most part, are stationary. As the Earth moves around, we experience this movement. Or else, the Earth is more of a flat, stationary surface, and all of the stars move in unison as well. Now, how did you rule out that the Earth is a flat, stationary surface, and all the stars, whatever they are, not deciding what they are moving in in unison? How did you rule that out as a possibility?
Pete.
So I asked you that, James.
Before you guys go into a monologue again, hang on, Pete, hang on. Just to let you guys know, I'm going to be ending it probably pretty damn soon because over at the MMA server that I have, I'm going to be viewing the MMA. It's UFC MMA fight night or UFC fight night. It's not pay per view, but it's they have a fight going on, so I'm going to be airing that over at the MMA server. Just so everyone knows, there's a 10-person limit unless there's someone else going to be sharing there. If more than 10 people show up, I do have an alternative. I'm just going to use a Google Hangout and cast it there. It'll work. I don't know why I didn't do it last week. I'm pissed off, or last time I'm pissed off I didn't. But that way everyone gets to watch it if that wants to. Just let me know that you need the Hangout link if it fills up. But yeah, I'm going to end it out because you guys are going to go into a monologue and it won't end. You guys can keep going in here.
come on, man. There's no hurry. Let me say something. I was hoping that you might play Jose's, the footage of the boat sailing away in the distance, because it actually proved that the PJ was right all along when we considered the mirror layer as it appears.
The fuck are you talking, Pete? You're crazy, man. I love you to death, man. And like I said, I will always smoke a joint with you, but you are crazy as a fox, my friend. That video did nothing but prove curvature.
Yes, but I can. But you don't even know what I'm saying here. I can say and actually,
you don't know what you're fucking saying.
Hang on, please.
Well, hang on, because Pete. I got Pete. Here's the thing, Pete. We just started a topic or a conversation, and I can't start one. I'm trying to end the stream. I did want to say a few things before I do. You guys can keep talking once I'm done, but I want to say a few things.
Well, you Gleam, ended for men in shorts. You want to look at men in shorts or the rest of the
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I also do that. So you're only talking shit.
Of that yourself,
okay. Right? Gleam, thank you for stopping on, man. It was good to hear your voice again, my friend. Always
salute, brother.
Yep. Yep. Fork Farmers. Don't join. Blue, I know you're listening in. GPS, thank you guys.
Are you seriously asking me that, John? Are you seriously asking
Hang on, John. As much as you're flattered, thank you for being here. No name, as usual, my friend.
Okay.
Q, I left you last for a reason. Fucking epic and wonderful uploads. I enjoyed the fucking shit out of them tonight. Thank you very much for that.
No more than Q lets on, right?
Speaking of Pete, you don't have to, but I will send you the Pete conversation. See if you want to do anything with that.
Yeah, I found the John here because
I listened to it. And I laughed. And there's no visuals.
Consider both options.
Pete, I'm gonna be live tomorrow. Shit, if I get high enough, I'll go live after the fights, and you can come back. I'll probably be too late, but tomorrow you can come on, Pete, and you can have your rant.
Let me say this, Sean. Let me say this then. Okay, Sean. Let me say this, right? So it's a massive point. Black Swan is massive at the minute, right? And Jose has a certain argument. Okay, but hang on a second. Jose has a certain argument where he shows the boat sailing into the distance. Now you are you're in the middle between what is how far can we actually see? What does it say about the Earth and it being globular or whatever? So Sean, it'd be a perfect platform for me to present Jose's imagery and hoist them by their own petards by showing and proving what exactly is going on over a flat plane of water as the boat disappears into the mirroring water layer. But that's up to you to take as well. Remember, this is the hottest topic around at the minute. Black Swan is mentioned on the mainstream. Sean, millions of people have been exposed to the name itself, Black Swan.
Pete, tomorrow, 4 hours previous to this time, so my noon, because it's 4 o'clock right now, so 4 hours prior to right now. I'm going to go live tomorrow. It's my noon. Okay, yeah, and do that because I have questions. Because since that video, a lot of questions I have arise that I have.
I'll settle everything for you then tomorrow, and it'll be. And Sean, because you're hosting it, it will be. Well, listen, I would have won about for some of the discoveries I've made about 3 Nobel prizes already because they're paradigm changing. Right?
I would love to hear that.
If the Earth is not hang on, please. If the Earth is not a ball, you see, this is why it's not. I'm not bigging myself up. If the Earth is not a spinning ball, then everything about the spinning ball is metaphor. So it tells us about our reality, and now we can glean right things about our direct reality from all of these direct observations. And as John said, I'm only willing to consider when the Earth is a spinning ball and the stars are the material objects as they are. I'm not willing to consider the opposite point of view. So anyway, that'll be paradigm changing. I'll make a little bit of an effort. I'll bring up Jose's video. And I will prove that Pete Shea's been right since 2016. Let me just say one more thing, Sean. Let me say one more thing. When I was talking about all of this in 2016, and this is historic, right? 2016, I was talking about how to Rumpus and all the crew, how the parent horizon is not the actual horizon line. And they were all going, no, this is the actual horizon line. Everything else, then we'll explain in terms of refraction based on the observer height. So when I was saying that in 2016, John Quantum Eraser was around. I continued to make those arguments, went on to develop them in terms of the mirror water layer, looking over an extended plane of water, how the water compresses, the distance compresses, and water reflects and behaves like a local mirror. But John Quantum Eraser was around. He knew all of his arguments, never see that guy's face, but suddenly at the very beginning of this year, 2020, it's John admits he didn't get it all along. Suddenly he gets it, and now Black Swan is everywhere. So tomorrow's show will be epic, Sean. Historic, I would say. So lovely. Cheers.
All right, my friend. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate it. Again, Q, thank you. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Great work.
I don't need a final thought.
You haven't been that hard in a long time, Sean. I'm sort of broke up.
Yeah, I hope so. Again, if you, oh god damn it.
You are Sean. I may be small.
The links in the chat that for Jesus Christ, please shut up. There's the links in the description for the MMA server. I'm going to start the fights up. I don't think it's going to be the fights. I think it'll be maybe replay. Shut up, Pete. Damn it. Hang on, I'll fix this. Go over to the MMA server. I'll be showing some fights. I'm trying to find them right now. Even if there's not, we'll fucking we'll watch something. I don't care. But that's going on if Jose doesn't go live. Thanks everyone for being here. It was fun. I wanted to say something, but fucking Pete kept talking. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, and Pete, we can talk about some of Jose's observations, because I do have some questions that arise of that. I'm hoping that Travis gets those images in the video from when I was up there to me, hopefully by tomorrow, so we can see that, look at that. That's what I've been waiting for. That's why there hasn't been really many topics, and I haven't really been talking about nothing. I've been really waiting for those the pictures that I got at Travis's and all that kind of stuff, so I can talk about that, because I actually was there. But yeah, Pete, we can talk about it, because I got questions that kind of just refute it possibly, obstruction being refraction only and not obstruction by physical bodies. I got a clip that I want to show you guys tomorrow. What I was talking about on Travis's, where Travis was using a physical body of water to show exactly what we would see on a geometric horizon, which is also how we know that objects are obstructed by a physical body, along with the mirroring, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. Again, I'm gonna jump over to the MMA server right now, and I'm gonna try to get something going on. We can start talking some MMA, because back to training, so that's all I really talk about now. But other than that, thank you guys for being here. It was a fun conversation. Yes, got my camera fixed. I'm back on camera, so you guys can see exactly who you're talking to. And yes, I am real. Yes, I've been smoking the whole time. There it is, right there. See, there you go. I will see you guys later on. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Again, I know it's like the 5th time I've said it. I'm trying to get to the screens I need before I just go. Peace.
You know I'm mobbing with the DRE. Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E. Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E. Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
Smoke weed every day.
Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know the West Coast is back for all you suckers. So put something in there. Put it in there. Yeah. Suck, Snoop.
Top dog, bite them all. Yeah, I'm burning it up. DPGC, you should be turning it up. CPT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang this in the club, baby, you got to get up. Cause homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low life, yo life, boy, we living it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the back door. Chickens looking at me strange, but you know I don't care. Simple, Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know the West Coast is back for all you suckers. So put something in there.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. You ready for the next episode? It's the one and only D.R.E. Dr. Dre, love bust. You know I'm mobbing with the D.O.G. Straight off them killer streets of CPT. King of the beach, you ride to him in your fleet. Wood, the Ville rolling on dubs. How you feel? Whoop-de-whoop. What? Dream Snoop hitting corners in the lag. With Doc in the back, sipping on yak. Clipping all the amps, dipping through hood. Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood. South Central out to the west side. It's California love, it's California bug. Got your boy a gang of pub. I'm on one, I might bell up in the Century Club. With my jeans on, and my team strong. Get my drink on, and my smoke on. Then go home with something to poke on. Locust song for the 2 triple O. Coming real, it's the next episode.